welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse. How
What's
are
up,
you
guys?
Hello.
You know, have you ever been in a job or going out and maybe activating POTA, and you're trying to leave the house, but there's something you're forgetting, and then you try to do everything at the last minute, and nothing seems to work like it's supposed to? Yeah. Welcome to my stream tonight. So sorry for being late, everybody. All of those of you in YouTube land, we're an extra 3 minutes late for the show. But what to expect? It's the Quirky stream tonight.
Yep, it's all Shane's fault.
It is.
You heard it here.
Yeah, I own it, man. I own it.
We're going to be taking nominations for new secretary, president.
What?
I get all the
Everything.
C-suites.
Yeah. What's going on,
Well,
guys?
hopefully we're live, by the way.
But this
We are.
the new 3 day a week or 3 day a week in the office jobs got him really fuzzled, you know.
See, I'm losing my focus. That's the thing. You take me out of my comfort zone, and I scramble. But anyway, 70 folks tuned in for this mess tonight. So thank you for doing that. Daniel, I'll start with you. How's your week been? We've got a really good guest tonight. We will get to him before the top of the hour, I promise. So
Yeah, my week's been good, man. I don't know. It just seems like every day mixes into the next. So, but I saw some pretty cool pictures on Facebook of your balloon, excursions or whatever you call it.
my balloon
that was-
escapades.
Yeah, that was pretty neat, man.
Yeah, it was. That was fun.
pretty
It
neat.
was a lot of fun. Got to meet Freddie Mac, too, while we was out there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he stopped by. He lives about a county over, so he came over and watched the fireworks. And unfortunately, we couldn't fly that day because the winds were too high. But I got to say hi, and he got to see a good show of explosions.
Nice.
Isn't that what you don't want with a bunch of flying balloons?
I mean, we weren't that close.
They're not full of helium or nothing.
We're just full of hot air. I mean, it's
Talking
that
about
30
that-
gallons of propane that might be a little
Guess I-
explosive.
Fits with the show.
This weekend
That's the finale.
they're having 2 local balloon fest here locally
Really?
this coming up weekend. Yeah.
Well, I won't be in Mississippi, but I do have another one this weekend down in Kyle, Texas, called Pie in the Sky.
Where's Izzo? Izzo's supposed to be
I'm
there.
still doing clicks, guys. Sorry, I haven't gotten caught up yet. Steve, how's your week been? Save us, Steve.
Week's been good. I've run into a little issue with DaVinci, which is why my video didn't come out today. I can't split my clips anymore. I screwed up and updated DaVinci, and I've lost some functionality.
Really?
So
Did they put it behind a paywall?
no, it hasn't asked me to pay for it, but it's like I'm missing some of the editing tools. So
Interesting.
wouldn't surprise me.
See, Steve, you have to set the bar low. See, I'm still, I'm still. Hold on, Evan Barchak. Thank you for the $15 super chat. He goes, "Can I show up to the Boston Marathon and start running early?"
Yeah.
It's true.
Thank you for your patronage.
If I were to run the
The hell
marathon,
was
I'd have
that?
to start now.
That startled
What,
Joe
Joe?
Brad.
I didn't hear anything.
Izzo said he's okay. He just arrived at home. He'll be on in 1 to 3 minutes.
Okay. That means
Which
he'll be
means
on in
15.
20.
Got it.
Yeah.
Evan, thanks for the $15 super chat, man. We appreciate it.
If you don't understand, Evan's referring to something that we talked about last week on the show. So should have watched it or listened to it as a podcast.
Right? Who's this guy? Who's this ham radio tube?
Yep.
Wow.
He's
I
new,
just updated
so-
Resolve and I'm not having problems. 18.5.1.
That's the one I've got. But
Maybe it's operator error.
it could be.
I can't use that software for nothing. My computer's just crap. My video card doesn't support it. So I mean, it'll work, but it'll freeze everything. It'll crash.
Hey, we're not repeating that. But yes.
So
Anyway,
if
back
you
to
don't,
Steve.
if you guys don't know who Ham Radio Tube is, which you should know, that's KMRD's rebranded YouTube channel.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I had a joke. I made a joke this week, but I don't know if I don't know if Mike would get mad at me for the joke. So
We're
Mike,
only 7
It's
weeks
Mike,
in,
come
you should
on.
be G.
No, with Mike's permission, I'll share it. But so, Mike, if you're okay with me making a joke,
It depends on what the joke is.
give the thumbs up. He's not privy to advanced knowledge of what it is.
He said, "Let's hear it."
He
There
says,
you
"Let's
go.
hear it."
Hold on, let me pull it up. So I say it right.
Did you say it's cheaper to rebrand,
this in your
rebrand than
notepad?
buy a billboard? Is that
Right?
Oh, I gotta find it. You go ahead, Steve.
But yeah, so still working on that video. I've got a few other videos kind of in the pipe. As soon as I can figure out the editing thing, I'll get some recording done, editing, and hopefully we'll get some stuff out here at some sort of regular interval.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on?
Yes, I've
Okay.
rebooted 3 times. I'm an IT. Come on.
Oh, did you
Hey, there he
physically
is.
take the power cord out though? It's not just flipping the switch. You got to completely disconnect that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wait 10 minutes and then plug it back in. Right?
Always.
And then pull the disc out and blow the dust out.
Yeah, like the Nintendo blow into where the cartridge goes.
Exactly.
But I've got a hurricane blowing right down my back door
No,
here.
you don't. No, you.
Next
It'll be
Florida
a
is
tropical storm by the time
You're
it
in the
gets to
Carolinas.
you.
It'll be a storm by the time it gets here, but I am going to lay the tower over.
I don't blame you there.
So
Them tropical storm
Yeah.
winds ain't messing around.
It's better if you do it than
Yeah,
Mother
I-
Nature.
You're a lot more gentle than she is.
yeah, I can stand it back up if I lay it down.
Yeah,
if she lays
exactly.
it down,
Might be looking for a new
you see a
tower.
grown man cry. So
Joe Brett,
Hey,
over
that's
to you,
me,
my friend.
man. I ain't got nothing good to say because I've got nothing in the works. But I'm gonna play this audio. I was sitting there hunting some POTA the other night, and this man, it's just cool. Hang on a minute, because I got to cut. iPhones are stupid. You got to cut the audio.
Almost 20 over here as well.
Can you hear that?
Fun.
Yeah.
Is that Joe Brett? That's Joe Brett.
I was just like, oh, okay. So
He about had a coronary.
yeah, I liked it. That made my day.
Who was it?
Yeah, shoot, man, Zeus or something like that is what his name was. I forget what his call was. That's why I was like kicking myself. I was like, damn, I didn't get his call sign in the recording.
Can't even give him
so
a shout out.
I could, yeah. So if you're in the chat or something, shout out to you, Zeus. So that was pretty cool. But, videos, I'll come up with something. Y'all know me
You
by
put
now.
out a couple things.
Well, yeah, that was Huntsville. I mean, there was a lot of stuff
Yeah.
going on. So, but they're done. So
Okay.
that's all my videos on that.
You did them all in 1 week.
Yeah.
You could space those out.
And nobody cares about Huntsville after a week.
That's kind of true. I'm with you there.
Gotta get that
I
stuff
care,
out.
Joe. I care.
I know you do this though, because it takes you a week to discover the video. But
Hey, but what do I do
So
though?
true.
I comment, I like, I watch, I follow, I do my thing.
that's right. That's right. You're a very important viewer.
Thank you.
As long as everybody else that clicks or the like or comments.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You could follow up with all of those folks in Green Chat. They're our channel members, by the way. They've done just that. And speaking of, Scott here, member for 3 months. Joe Brett says checks in the mail. Scott, thanks for the 3-month support. Appreciate that. Izzo, buddy.
All right,
Scrambling
I'm
to
late.
get here, eh?
I'm late to the party.
You're on bathroom duty.
Hang on. That's fine. And I'll take out the returnables. I'll clean up after y'all messes that y'all make with the peanuts on the floor and
Wait,
toilet seat left-
returnables in the bathroom?
returnables and the peanuts left, the peanut shells and the pistachio nut shells left on the floor.
Who's eating peanuts in the bathroom?
Because some people do that while they're taking care of
No.
business.
Oh,
I
my
was going to say,
God.
a good bar has a shelf by the urinal to put your beer up on.
No.
Some guys, listen. First off, I'm late, so mic check 1, 2. Am I okay? Everything else.
Sound wonderful.
Audio's good,
Izzo.
buddy.
Wonderful.
I gotta say something. So I'm late, and I'll tell you why I'm late. But you know something? I told you guys I was going to be
I
late.
bet we're going
at
to
the
find out
last
anyway.
minute. Okay. Molson sends a great emoji, but only but Joe Brett checked on me. Where the heck was everybody else? How come everyone
We were
else-
doing a show.
Joe Brett, you all were doing a show, but Joe Brett took out his phone and he texted me.
Yeah, because
I
the
was
rest
gonna
of us
call
were
you.
doing a show.
He's
I was going to call you and put you on speakerphone, but I was
even
afraid
better.
of.
I stopped in at my local cigar lounge after work, and one of my buddies from Aruba came back up here for a while. I haven't seen him. Uncle Lou was there. I'll tell you some stories later about Uncle Lou. Great guy. And we just started talking. Next thing I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. So I know I missed hair and makeup. I hope I'm okay. So
Yeah.
Scout, you're right. Nothing in the bathroom should be returnable. You're absolutely right. It's a giving place. We don't
Exactly.
receive, we just give.
Jesse says, "Wait, we have a bathroom." I've been wearing. Well, anyway.
Yeah, it's called the outhouse, my friend, and it has the moon. Is it on the outhouses? Is it the moon that means the men? There was some signifier on outhouses a long time ago.
I think they were equal opportunists back
I was
then.
to say, you were lucky enough to have two.
I was about to say. I think they only wanted to dig one hole, so you just had to knock twice before you go in.
Dig in the hole, Mike. Well, listen, I rather dig.
Yeah,
the
they
hole
didn't
than the
have-
guy
they didn't-
that-
They didn't have plumbing back then.
Yeah, but think about it. If you have to do one job, that's the job you want to do.
Digging the hole?
Yeah,
Dig
I'll
the
dig
hole,
the hole. I don't want to empty it. I'll dig the. It's all
You don't
fresh
empty it, son.
It's fresh and
You
clean
put lye
dirt.
in it, and Mother Nature does its thing.
Yeah, but digging the hole is the easiest part. It's the guy who has to do the cleanup and all the other stuff afterwards. Listen, do
Yeah,
you
that's
want to
why-
go
Well,
in?
this stream went to shit.
Do you
That's
want to
why
go?
when
do you want?
when you go to the outhouse, don't forget when you get done to tip the Shacking Off brothers, Norm and Greg.
Right. Because here's the
Wait,
thing.
why are they hanging out at the porta potty?
Listen, I love Shaq and Greg, but I don't want to go in after him. I'm afraid to go in
You can
after
hold
him.
it.
I'm afraid to see what he's been reading in there. That's the problem. His
He'll probably
reading
leave you a
material-
bag of peanuts in there.
pistachio shells.
He's gonna ham
They
it
tend to
forward.
pass out things.
That's right. They pass out things. That's right. He's not even asking a quarter for it. It's free. He's gonna hand it to you.
Oh my
When you
God.
walk in, not when you leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that's a friend. That's a friend.
That. Oh, this stream. I
That's
swear.
dangerous.
I'm sorry. Should I leave now?
No, not at all. We're gonna turn it over to you here shortly
Why me?
because you are the man. That's why everybody comes
No,
and shows up.
because I'm the guy who's in charge of hiring the talent. That's
That's
why.
true. I did
That's
want to.
my-
I'm going to
that's
share
my
a few
job.
things here. So it was good to see Freddie Mac. As I said earlier, I'm going to try to pull up some. We managed to grab a selfie as I was covered in sweat
That's a
because
nice
it was
picture,
103 degrees outside.
That's a nice picture. Bring that back up again. That's a great picture, man. Bring that up again. That's a good picture.
So I
Well, he
saw
took it. I mean, and he's the professional. So
That's a great
Freddie's
picture.
there. He is.
Yeah.
Freddie's in the chat,
yeah, Freddie's in the chat.
and I received stickers from him today, so I got to get some out in the mail.
Oh, nice. Do you have any Clubhouse ones you could send?
I
me?
do. I've got a couple of the big Clubhouse ones still, so I'll send
Nice.
one of those with it, and I'll send him a couple Izzo stickers because I've got those.
Cool.
Let's see. Let me see if I can share. I don't want to share that screen. This is riveting radio here.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I was gonna say,
While
I
you're
gotta,
doing
we
that,
gotta stop
Scout-
reading the chat.
Yeah.
Once again,
There we
Scout
go.
75 does not disappoint. For those on the podcast, and then next week when you're listening to this, the worst part of this Jacking Off Brothers is the bathroom. Is the long, awkward.
Yeah,
And this is coming from a guy who's camped with the Shacking Off brothers.
multiple times.
Nope. That's right.
Yeah.
You can't get enough.
That's a
One
great
was not
picture,
enough.
Shane.
Isn't that cool?
That's an amazing.
Dude,
That's
card.
pretty
a
cool.
QSL card. That's a
That's
QSL card.
beautiful.
Even
Yeah,
that one.
this is. We had some good ones.
my other hobby.
We were operating these 4 balloons. We did 250 people did rides with us Friday night.
Oh, wow.
Could fireworks
Wow.
do any damage to the material of the balloon?
Yeah, they can burn a hole in them if they fall the wrong way. So the story behind this, the wind is actually blowing towards the fireworks, so they're blowing them away from the balloons. So we do actually take that into consideration because that's on a big, like 18-foot trailer, and they just tow it over to wherever they want to set them off at, and they've got this big computer system that does it all. But yeah, they moved them to where the wind would carry all the fragments away from us.
That's nice of them.
See. Yeah, I agree. I don't like seeing propane go up in flames.
No.
Hey, go back
So-
for a second. Does
Yeah.
that say balloonflight.ca
It
for
is.
Canada?
This
Oh,
this balloon
Molson.
came from Canada. Yeah.
Molson
Maple ring,
represented.
I
was gonna say,
Molson's represented.
You don't
Look
see the
at
maple leaf ring?
Yep. This was a Canadian balloon that's now registered in the U.S.
Oh,
And I went to
traitor.
that balloonflight.ca to see if it went anywhere, and it was. I mean, it's been gone for a while. But
All right, so listen, we need to tell everybody why Shane is really doing all this balloon stuff because we're going to need transportation to get over to Sealand. And this is how it's going to be, guys.
Take us a
there are no
long
train-
time in a balloon.
Guys, there's no
It'll take us-
trains, there's no automobiles. We kid about the Zamboni. There's going to be one way to get on Sealand and one way to get off.
right,
Balloon.
balloon. So this was the competition flight, and this purple. This is the balloon that I fly most of the time, and this is my instructor. And he was doing an approach to. You see these yellow ribbons down here.
Mm-hmm.
So balloons have to start a mile away from the airport, and then they fly in and they try to get as close to that target as possible. And my instructor did a good job. He wasn't part of the competition, so he threw his hat.
His hat
But
fell
you
off.
know what? No, he threw it. But look at that. Look how close he got. I think he should have gotten baggies and did the competition.
Oh yeah, because that
Hey,
thing's not
Shane.
going to go straight down. That's going to
No,
walk.
huh?
I got to tell you something. This is an improvement because where I came from as a young kid, we used to buy squares to see where the cow would drop the.
Oh my God, cow patty bingo.
Yes, so
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
moved up in the
I can
world.
I can
like-
substantiate this story. And that one, Freddie Mac sent me that one. That was his view from the crowd. So
Hey, is there a money making thing for us to give back to the Clubhouse community? Next time you do this, we'll sell squares, and we'll see where Shane has, or how close can he get in the box, and we'll all do wagers or whatever.
Yeah.
Keep it legal. Just keep it legal to YouTube, and we'll
See,
give
I
the
would-
money
I would
back.
come in. My weight would be attached to a lot of fishing line, and I would lower it as close as I could to the ground before I let go of it.
He's gonna hover.
you can't attach anything to it.
Bullseye, man.
That's unfortunately, you actually have to have a little skill there. But it was fun. It was a good time. I wish we'd have been able to fly people on Saturday, but it was too busy or too busy. It was too windy. So
20 minutes.
I know, right? 20 minutes in. We should probably bring our guest in.
Absolutely.
Good guy.
Some of you know him as Kilo Hotel 2 Sierra Romeo. Some of you know him as James. Some of you know him as James Hannibal. And some of you just know him as a quirky QRP guy. James,
There he is. Look at him.
Hey, guys.
welcome to the show, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
doing?
You know what? We're living the dream. I woke up this morning and I still got a heartbeat.
Right on.
And why am I the center of attention?
Hold on, I'm moving it.
Make James.
Who's in charge here?
There we go.
There he is.
All right.
He looks better tonight than he did last night. That's
Oh,
all
that's
I'm gonna
right.
say.
That's right. He was on Temporary Offline's channel on the Ham
was on the
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
I think
The
all of us have we all done Nuggets yet? I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I did 2 extra layers of makeup tonight, so
You
extra
wanna look
special for you guys.
Extra
Yeah.
special for the clubhouse. Oh, we appreciate that. Well, James, I know they started off last night with everything that you do in Etsy and all that stuff, but we want to kind of take a different direction. So, how'd you get into ham radio? What led you down to this crazy hobby, and how long you been doing it?
Well, excuse me. Back in the 90s when I got my license, 97. But what got me into radio would have been listening to my dad's shortwave, as a kid, and my grandpa and uncles using CB radios between cars on road trips. And I think what got me really interested, I think what tipped it over the edge was we were playing with CB radios, and I had some old 1970s. It was only like a 2-channel CB radio that I got from a garage sale, and I heard people talking in Texas from Idaho. I was in Idaho, and my
They got a
grandpa
funny
goes,
accent, don't they?
Those guys must be in Texas.
They
And I
talk
was like,
funny.
holy cow. So that's what, and my dad really pushed me into that. and I was always big into electronics and building kits and stuff like that. So ham radio was a natural direction to go. And
The
being
logical
in
next step.
Boy Scouts are kind of into doing ham radio stuff, the radio merit badge, that kind of thing. And then I got my license in '97, and shortly after that, I actually got to talk to the Russian space station Mir.
Really?
Yeah, with what's that Yagi antenna that everyone loves?
Oh, the arrow.
It might have been an arrow.
Okay.
It was either an arrow or there was another one that was a cubicle quad that I had.
Oh, cool.
Shoestring antennas, I think it was called. I don't think they exist anymore. But they couldn't get my call sign right. So like I talked to the guys, and every time I tried, I was like, no, it's this. But I didn't want the whole. At the time, I was like, a kid. I didn't really care about like logging stuff.
Right.
So I was just blown away that I was talking to the space station.
I spoke to someone in outer space.
It wasn't until literally decades later when I was like, oh my God, they never got my actual call sign. They got like the last letter. They could be getting the last letter wrong or something like that. But yes, I got to talk to Mir from a HT, and
That's
a
cool,
Yagi.
isn't it?
That's really
that
cool.
was
cool.
that blew me away. And that was
That
one of
is.
the things that kind of solidified ham radio for me permanently. Was that experience?
Hey, James, I got to stop you for 1 second.
Go for it.
So this is going to my brothers here. So Jenny L sent us a $10 chat. This lady contacted me last week saying that she put in money last week, and for some reason it didn't register. So we deeply appreciate Jenny's $10
Thank you for
this
your
week. And
patronage.
Yes, we watching us and all your support. But you gave us $10 last week. We gave you nothing. So technically, this would be a $20 donation. She sent me a private message saying, "Hey." So, but she's a nice lady, and
Did you say we missed it, Izzo? Your audio went kind of garbled.
my audio's garbled.
No,
now?
you're back
Nope,
now.
you're good
That's
there.
better.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm on the high-speed internet direct. This is a
It's
direct
probably
line.
my fault for playing an audio file over you.
No. But anyway,
There you go,
I'm going to break her stones for a second. She did $10 last week. I don't know what happened. $10. So technically, Jenny, you owe us another $10. We don't do math on screen, but I do know 10 plus 10 is 20. That's all I'm going to say. And we'll just leave it at that. No, seriously, thank you for your support.
Jenny, thanks you for the $10 super
We
chat.
appreciate you putting
that.
up with us.
Izzo,
So-
you're a harsh businessman.
Absolutely, man. You listen. Somebody has to do. Listen, Beer Snack's not here. Someone has to do the accounting side of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Otherwise, we'll
so-
go broke fast.
So, James, one of the things that you like many of all, I think all of us at some point, we've all followed that same path. Something hooks us in, and once you get that a little bit, it's like sugar. It's like going to the 5 and dime, or again, I'm gonna date myself and going to the candy
CVS.
store, CVS, MediMart, those of you in the Northeast. But seriously, you get that RF hook. It brings you in, and isn't it amazing how it just pumps you up? And between CB short, and we're not even talking ham radio at this point. It's just the RF that just flows through our ears. It hits our brain, and things just start going crazy. And it's like we want more of it. And so when you were doing all this, where was this happening? Were you here in the States when this was going on, or like where were you?
So when the very, very beginning, just, like little walkie-talkies and listen to my dad's shortwave, that was Guam.
Mhm.
And then we'd come back to the States every year for a big family camping trip, and that's when we'd play with CBs. So both, really, Guam
Yeah.
and the main.
What kind of CB did you have?
So I had, it was this like 1970s vintage 2-channel CB radio was my personal CB for a while, and then my uncle got me one that was a 6-channel. And
you move it up in
Move
technology.
it on up.
It was like a brick. This thing, because it was
Did it
the
have
old way
crystals?
of doing it,
Did it
right?
have
Where
crystals?
crystals for
Right.
every channel, yeah.
The crystal
So you-
job.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
6-channel CB with a thick metal chassis. That thing was heavy.
Heavy.
You couldn't even put it on a belt. Like you'd just pull your pants right off. It was so heavy. Heavy as a
Our
brick, literally.
power supply would sweat when you turned it on. And
Yeah,
started
exactly.
But yeah, mobile rigs too
Sure.
in the truck for RV trips, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Now in Guam, was there one channel like here in America? We all know Channel 19 is the the trucker, the highway channel. Channel 9 was always reserved for emergencies back in the day. Then you had all your local channels. Some guys would go over on sideband. But in Guam, was there a specified channel that all the islanders would use, for their rag chewing? Or
There may well have been, but like I said, we mostly did the CB stuff stateside, like doing road trips. Guam, it's like you can spit and hit every edge of the island. It's a small island.
just
it's
3
like,
watts?
You don't even need a radio. You just, send a
Just
pigeon.
yell. Is it something
Hey,
along those
Shane.
lines?
Hey Shane, how you doing tonight?
I was gonna say,
Exactly.
throw a rock and you hit them on
Yeah.
the other side.
I think that's an 8 channel, but that kind
look
of
at that.
kind of give you an idea.
That's about the size of the handheld I had.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah,
And then
I still like to play with CBs. I like to modify them to be 10-meter band radios, and then I don't even use them. It's like a sickness. I just modify it, and then I don't know. I can't help myself.
You mod them and then throw them in the trash.
Yeah.
do you like
So-
do you like to tinker?
I do.
You're a tinkerer, okay?
I think
Yes,
that's where
always.
the
I've always been a
I think
tinkerer.
that's where the Quirky QRP came from.
I've been zapped more times than I can count. In fact, I probably can't remember all of them because I've been zapped so hard.
Right?
I've tried, like, one of the first, I guess it would be one of the first stupid things I did with electronics. So I tried recharging a button cell battery with my variable voltage power
Oh
supply.
goodness.
And look, I had the sense to take my dad's like blast shield and put that on, and it's like, oh, I don't know, a tenth of a second after applying voltage, bang, just blew up in my face. The whole face shield was covered with the acid from the battery.
Oh,
So that was a learning experience.
That'd been a great video.
Oh,
That
I know.
will, huh, Joe? That's at least a short.
I don't think I'd be allowed in public if I had, all the technology now back then, all the evidence of all the stupid things I did, I think, yeah, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
What years? So give us a time frame. What years were you in Guam?
So Guam was from like 19. Well, okay, so
And how old were you?
83 until so I moved there when I was only like year and a half, 2 years old, something like that. And then I was there until I was like 10, 11 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we kept going back for 5 years after that. My dad was a commercial airline pilot, so he stayed based out there after we moved. He was commuting to the other side of the planet to go back to work in Guam.
Oh wow.
Until
Did
he
he work?
switched
And that was
over
with
to the
that was with Southwest. Was that with Southwest also?
Continental.
Got that.
Which is now United, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Shane. See?
Used to be based out of Houston
Mm-hmm.
until they merged.
Right.
So
Excellent.
So fast forward then. You enjoyed shortwave and CB. When did you touch HF or when did that come
yeah,
about?
who pushed you? Who said?
Who
hey,
pushed
get
you
your
out of the
license?
nest?
Yeah.
So it was my dad again who
Of
pushed me.
course.
When we both got our licenses back in '97, I just got my tech license, and then like high school hit and my interests shifted. I got really into Boy Scouts and trying to finish that up and do Eagle and that whole thing. So I still used ham radio like on backpacking trips and whatnot, but I wasn't as involved on like a daily basis. It was more of a tool at that point that I would
Right.
just have, in my bag along with all the other, things you'd bring with you. HF didn't really start for me until, must have been like 2014 or something. My dad convinced me, hey, it's time you finally get your general. And I was like, sure, why not? So I got some Gordon West books and his audio tapes and was just listening to those during work.
Sure.
And yeah, past that shortly thereafter.
Who's got a radio on?
Joe Brett.
No.
Steve.
that's mine.
I lost bet
We
on
have
that
a
one.
guest.
I'm like Joe Brett's making contacts on the show.
No, the hurricane that's active. So
On 40 or 20 or both?
40.
Okay.
So
Well, your mic
James
got hot
was-
all of a sudden.
So now James was your father. Was he a big VHF guy, UHF, voice, sideband, CW? Like what was his gig? And
So
is he still
was
active
into ham
today?
radio So he I think he had gotten his license when he was a lot younger, and then it like expired or something. So he retook the test with me. So he had built an old I'm gonna say it wrong, but it's like a Miko. There's a Miko tube transmitter or Amco or something like that.
I bet somebody in the chat knows.
Someone will
where's
figure it
where's
out.
SKT and a few other guys? Old
So
like
he had
me.
his beginnings in HF was tube, a tube transmitter and separate receiver.
Yep, separate receiver. A transmitter and the receiver.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
That's what my grandfather had.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah, and that funky mic plugs.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not what you have today.
No, not even close. So after that, when he got his job with the airlines, he didn't do a lot of ham radio.
Thank you, Frank.
After that, but being a commercial airline pilot out in the Pacific, HF was how you would communicate all the time.
Yep.
That was the main way to communicate.
Yeah, exactly. Still
the moment
is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still is.
So he did HF for his entire career. He only retired a couple years ago.
Was he a sideband guy, CW guy, or digital?
Sideband.
Sideband.
I'm trying to get him into digital. I'd like to get us both up and running on like JS8. I think would be cool.
Do that keyboard to keyboard stuff, sure.
Yeah, I like how that system has. It's kind of almost like a mesh network where you can like leave messages on someone else's rig that's running, and so even if I'm not in if there isn't a path between my dad and I, maybe we both have a path to someone else and we can maintain comms. So we do sideband together still.
And where does he live now?
He still lives in Idaho.
He's in Idaho. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So and it's interesting how you learn now as the solar cycles change, what bands open, what band modes, and it's very interesting. Nothing stays the same, and it's fun, isn't it?
And that's actually
challenging.
Speaking of the solar cycle and getting hooked on ham radio, I think it probably wouldn't have been that different for me. But when I got my general, it was the last solar cycle. I think we were just on the backside coming down off the peak. So I was making contacts, DX contacts all the time with a handheld HF with a whip, 5 watts at best. Talking to Southeast Asia, Australia, Europe.
But can't talk to anybody 500 miles near you,
So that was I kind of fell in love with ham radio again with that last solar cycle because it was just like amazing. And then it slowly tapered off, and I was like, oh man, time to get a 100-watt rig.
Yep.
At least. Yeah.
So
what do you? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, you go. No, you go.
We go.
Children.
We go.
I was just going to share because we have a lot of people who like to listen to different forms of radio. I just wanted to share, and you may have to pause this if you're watching this on Team Replay. But if you would like to listen to Oceanic HF, there are your frequencies. That's for the Atlantic. So ATC, phone patch, all that kind of stuff. There's the frequencies for them. And then on the other side, that would be from the Pacific side. So California, Hawaii tracks, that's the frequencies there. So pause the stream, take a screenshot if you like. I don't want to take up too much time with this, but for those of you who like listening to this, you can actually hear them quite a ways. And all of our 800 series 730s have HF radios in them, the ones that go out to Hawaii. So we use them quite a bit.
Give us an example between Shane and James. What kind of communications would you hear?
Air traffic control.
So actually, okay. I didn't know if okay.
So
What
out there,
you won't understand.
right. So out there's no radar coverage. So most of the time you're going to hear the flight number. You're going to hear their position report. They're going to tell you where they're at, airspeed, anything like that, if they're having any issues. But you can just hear them making those position reports back to air traffic control. A lot of times you can hear the ATC side of it as well.
So because my point was, because if you follow it with the app, there's that app where you can follow the planes. Mm-hmm. That may be something cool. Not only can you hear, but you could also see it on your app or on your big computer screen of it actually, traveling.
Yeah.
So that would be cool.
What would be equally cool would be to take that map and then side by side be looking at like PSK Reporter maybe, or something similar where you're able to see like where there's openings and see where that aligns with the aircraft that are out there, and then you could utilize that to better listen to some of these aircraft, maybe.
Like position tracks. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it's really cool how that oceanic system works. So Grayman Poda says, ask James if his dad would hang a Slinktena out at the window and work HF stations in
Dude,
flight.
we had to. Thank you, Gray Man. But excellent question.
I will say, though, I have worked a couple different aircraft that were running HF while I was out doing POTA. So you'll get some aeronautical mobile in there. There's a guy from Spirit Airline. He flies for Spirit Airlines who uses their HF quite a bit, and he'll chase POTA while they're in the air. It's up. The antenna's back on the vertical part of the tail. There's a piece of metal, and there's a tuner built inside of the airplane where they can tune up pretty much anything.
My dad and I always wanted to be able to make contact between while he was at work, but
that'd be cool.
Just never the openings never lined up with his schedule and my schedule. But
that would have been cool.
Yeah,
that'd be very cool.
But now he's got a couple small airplanes now, and we'll do like cross country trips and whatnot. And I definitely want to do some aeronautical mobile. I think that'd be really awesome.
So Ron, he's gonna never let me hear the end of it. I think it's Whiskey 2, Oscar Romeo Hotel. I think it's Old Red Harley.
He's a 4 call.
So Whiskey 4 then.
Yeah.
ORH.
Steve knows.
So he's got a Bonanza, and he's been doing some ham radio stuff from that. So hopefully he's in the chat, and I can give him some shout out. But yeah, I think if you could figure out a good HF solution in a GA airplane, I would love to fly, get up, go up 8, 9, 10,000 feet, and just sit there and work POTA. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I'm sorry, I hit the wrong banner, but there you go. From the Smoking Ape, how do you ground the radio on the
I had an answer to that a very long ground wire.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm sure
it's a trailing wire.
Yeah, and your father can also prove that the world, our Earth, is round based upon his. So, no. That's all we're gonna say, Abe. That's all we're gonna say, Abe.
Yeah,
Scott.
Shane. I just pulled up Ron's QRZ. It is Whiskey 4 ORH, so Old Red Harley.
Steve, you're good. Steve's
Bring
good.
a cup of dirt.
But he's flying a V-tail Bonanza.
Yeah.
That may be a little bit more difficult unless you use the old ADSB or.
Hopefully he's in the chat and he can let us know.
The VOR.
I started flying when I started flying Bonanzas.
ADF.
That's what I flew was the V-tail Bonanza. I love them.
The old ADF antenna.
I don't know if he's using a different wire. I don't know. Maybe we need to have him on to talk about aeronautical
Get him
mobile.
on this show, yes.
Or we just do it like Carlos does and just mount a pack 10 to the bottom of the airplane and drag it behind
There
you.
you go.
Hey, Shane, I just
sling it out
realized
the window.
something. Shane,
Yes, sir.
I like your T-shirt.
Thank you. Oh, you saw. You noticed. That's a great segue, Izzo. Let me get this giant mic.
That's
I
strange.
love-
It's strangely
Oh,
kind
man, both of you.
So what a great segue.
Did I do that?
You did, yeah.
Oh.
So James, how did you? Okay, sorry. Let's talk about Quirky QRP.
Yes.
Where did that come from, and how did you get into that,
What
and then
great light
kind of what
bulb
was
went
the
off?
first? What was like the first
Can
first
I
product?
break in for just a
Yeah,
moment?
what you got?
Go for it.
I'm gonna go. I gotta go see what my job, what kind of my job situation consists of for the rest of the year.
Runoff election. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So
Are the results in?
I'm headed out to either jinx it or whatever.
That's
so.
why I
Well,
was
just
late.
minimize, and you can
No,
come
no.
back when it's done.
Right.
Joe
That's
Brad, I
why.
need some
That's
stickers.
why I was late. I
Yeah.
had
Before you
to.
go,
I had
I
to
need some
cast
stickers, man.
my vote tonight.
Yeah. Do we need to
All
go? Do I need to come in and vote last minute? I can get
Yeah,
an
yeah,
airplane.
yeah.
Mail-in
I'll give you a
ballot.
link. Yeah.
You need a few extra votes.
My mail-in ballot.
Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all.
Godspeed, Joe
thank you,
Brett. Hopefully
James.
you still got a job tomorrow.
See you, Joe Brett.
All right. We'll see. Yeah, I'll have
Later,
it till
buddy.
January anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Let us
There's
know.
there's not enough time for him to clean out that car.
Right.
Oh, man, you got to give up the Tahoe?
You're right.
Yeah.
All right. So fast forward. Where did the idea for Quirky QRP come from, and what was kind of like the first iteration of a product they said, you know what, these people need to see this. People might want to buy this.
So, excuse me. I'd have to say it goes all the way back to the beginning, honestly. When when I first got my license, my dad and I were thinking about like, hey, let's make something and sell it. And my mom always did craft fairs, and she just like was big into that.
Yep,
and
my
I was
grandmother
always
did that
seeing
too.
her coming up with new ideas, and so that was always kind of in the background for me, seeing her creativity. And my dad and I wanted to make J-poles, roll-up J-poles, back 1997, 98. We wanted to bring them to our little local ham fest up in northern Idaho. You know, we're like maybe 100 people show up, little tiny ham fest.
Right.
But
that's about how many
it was
people's
a-
in
it was
the
a total
stream
failure.
tonight. So
it was a total failure. Like,
oh no,
we made a few prototypes. I think we got one of them to work, but then like the whole concept of assembly line and making more of them, we made a couple for ourselves, and we're like, that's good enough. So it just kind of, the whole idea crumbled,
right?
And went away. And then I guess the next venture was a few years later. I think I was about 15 years old, and I got into as like when Palm Pilots were the thing.
Oh yes.
And I wrote some Palm Pilot software back when I was a teenager. And I was like, hey, there's like no ham radio Palm Pilot software out there, or very little. So I thought maybe I'll try to make some Palm Pilot ham radio software. So or at least radio related. And the very first program I wrote was actually called Mad Mac. And here, you know what? Can I share my screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm able to.
You should be able to.
Well, I think it comes down to
you might have
my personal ability.
I was about to say it's the ability, versus capability. That's two different things.
And I'm kind of worried. And for a second there, I'm thinking about content between G, PG, R, and X. So, but what has happened in the past?
I can add that to stream. There we go.
I found this not too long ago.
Wow!
My
Look at
old
that
software. This is called Mad Mac. This was the very first thing I ever wrote.
Well, how come it's unavailable?
Oh, that's funny.
Because the Palm Pilots are no longer being.
Actually, it's still available for download on some other, like random websites. This is just somehow it got on Amazon. I never even put it on Amazon. That's the weirdest part.
Somebody did it for you.
I don't know how that happened.
Someone's making 99 cents on the
love
dollar.
it.
You
Right,
really get
right.
pennies.
This was, again, like most of my products, just like even the roll-up J-pole, it all came from personal necessity.
Excellent.
That's
this was
usually where,
actually-
yeah.
This
Great,
is
man, thank you.
because my friends and family were always asking me to help fix their computers.
Oh, you
So
too.
I was like, I'll write some software.
So
that
you
they
were the
can have
guy
on
that
their Palm
everybody.
Pilot, and it'll walk them through the troubleshooting process.
See, so at Christmas time, birthdays, and bar mitzvahs, you were the guy that everybody had.
Everyone went to the corner. For those
That
of
was
you who
me.
don't know what a Palm Pilot is, this is the one that I had. I had the Palm Trio.
All right, hey guys,
So that was a little
Oh, yeah.
stepped up
you guys
version.
think I'm old, guys? Don't ever say I'm old. There you go. There you go. I don't want to hear that Izzo's the old guy. Look at this.
Right?
So
Ed,
the
man,
first-
thanks for the 8 months. We
Thank you, Ed.
appreciate it, buddy.
Nice.
Yeah, I had
Sorry to interrupt
the,
you, James.
Oh, no
the Trio
worries.
700 and the Centro.
Yep.
Oh man, I think the first one I got was before it was even made by 3Com. It was US Robotics. It was like the original
Now,
company.
I didn't have one because back then I didn't believe in that stuff, and now I wish I did. But like, what was the memory? Is there something ridiculous or like?
There you go, James.
8 megabytes.
That's the US
That's it.
Robotics version.
US Robotics, yeah.
And I think the 8 megabytes was like not the first model either. I
Yeah.
think it was even less than that.
Because I said I'm not going to walk around with something that big, and here I am.
Right.
This is not big. You know what I'm saying?
And yet you still do.
What would I do with it? What would I do with something like this?
What would I need
Yeah.
that for?
What would
Yeah.
I need that for? Right?
Yeah.
Kicking myself now.
Plasma is exactly right. Palm Pilots were the precursor to smartphones.
Yep.
I did so much with that little Palm Trio. It had a lot of cool stuff.
I still have
They
the
were- they
Trio
were a
and
lot
the
of fun.
Centro.
Oh,
I don't know if the battery
speaking
will
of
hold a
which,
charge.
Philip,
I
thanks for the
actually-
2 months. I'm such a noob. No, you're not,
Thank
buddy.
you.
You've been here
Thank you,
forever.
Phil.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. What do you got, James? You got one? Look at this.
Oh my God, it still works.
It still powers up.
Hold on,
Look
I'm
at
gonna
the
make you.
apps.
I'm gonna make you full screen for
Did
that
they
one.
call it apps? Was it,
Oh, yeah.
was it
No,
called
it was
apps
just software
That's so cool.
or applications.
applications?
Look, I even have my dad's old Continental app on there.
And what would you do if you lost a pencil? What was your emergency?
Your finger.
Your finger.
It
Was your or a piece of plastic like a straw, or I mean, what could?
Back of a pen.
A
Back
stir
of a pen.
stick.
They
Coffee
were
stir stick.
so they had like this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was like a layer behind it where you actually had to physically push down on the screen. It wasn't heat sensitive; like you had to physically touch the screen.
Yeah. So there's capacitive, and then there's resistive.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I always get the two mixed up.
Yeah, me too.
So-
This is why I keep on failing the extra.
It's funny that
Because they
this
talk
came
about
up, and I
9600
didn't realize
baud
I have this
modems.
up here to screen share. But I've got it sitting right here on my desk.
That's funny.
Here is my first radio-related program I wrote.
Look at the
All right, so we're
weather.
going- Look at that.
Wow.
Railroad police.
So you touch on any of these. So let's try. Well, here's aircraft, and then there's a pull-down menu, and there's even more frequencies there, and you can scroll through. And
Look at
see
that.
Air-to-air frequencies.
What era was that? 90s?
Yeah.
Okay. So life at terminal velocity. Carlos says the Palm Pilot is resistive.
Thank you, Carlos.
Resistive. Thank you, Carlos.
Yep.
So that's
See,
really
always lean on the chat. That's so cool that you still got something that functions. And does it update? Does it still get the new frequencies or no?
Oh no. So you mean that software?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no updating. It was just hard written. There was no
It didn't have a
updating.
database that it pulled
wrote it
from.
once. No.
Of course not.
No, not at all.
Jason in the chat's gonna give me PTSD talking about the handspring visor.
Mm-hmm.
I was
I
gonna
have one of
ask.
those.
I was gonna ask you guys, what is that? What's the handspring
Oh.
visor?
Think of like a Game Boy had a baby with a Palm Pilot
There you go.
because it
So-
had a cartridge on the back.
So N1JUR says, let's break out the Oregon Trail and I'll get dysentery. Oh,
Oregon Trail's coming
like-
back, baby.
It's like what is it? Your crew or your something that has died of dysentery. That was back when games were like you would just read text.
Text
So, what was the
based.
battery life
Yeah.
for that thing? based upon use, but
Oh, pretty
overall,
long.
like
The
days.
color ones weren't as long. The black
Yeah.
and white displays just would run forever, and it ran off of AAA batteries,
Yeah.
which was great.
I was gonna guess like NICAD or
missed that.
something, but okay. That's
Nope,
was
the original
looking-
ones were AAA.
You mean it didn't have a USB-C connector in the back?
No,
Oh my
no.
God. Tell that
It was
manufacturer
serial.
upgrade.
It
Yeah,
was a DB9
USB wasn't-
serial.
A
Even was barely a
DB9?
thing.
Oh my God, even I know that.
Yeah, DB9.
Wow.
So, anyways, that was another one of my early attempts in ham radio.
You're gonna
Was
make me go pull it out
writing
of the
some
box.
ham radio software. I even wrote some repeater guide directory apps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I wrote one for Idaho, which was really easy because there's not a lot of repeaters in Idaho. So I did that one really fast. And again, it was really just for myself, and I was selling them online and stuff. But then I tried starting to do some other states, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. Just the data input of manually typing in all these frequencies, transposing it, so I started doing like the smallest states. I did a bunch of the East Coast states because they were the easiest.
Don't
I
do
got
Texas.
to California and I was like, no.
Thank you, Connecticut.
She's like, nope. mm-mm.
I didn't do the rest of the states. I was like, I'm going outside. I'm going for a hike. I'm sick of staring at this computer. And that was literally the
gonna
beginning
go
and
play
end
outside.
of my like computer programming career as a 15-year-old. I wrote
Right.
some ham radio stuff, and I was like, I'm going back outside. This is neat, but I don't
So
want
we
to keep doing
go.
this.
So we go from a Palm Pilot, and then what's okay? So and you're fooling around with software. You find this device and everything. Now, what's the next jump from the like?
Then
where
it was
do
a
you leave?
huge jump. So that was straight up, and the true beginnings of Quirky QRP
Mhm.
was shortly after I got my general class ticket in. It must have been 2014, 15, something like that.
Did you think about like working at Radio Shack? I'm a serious question.
I
Did you
used to
think
work there.
about-
I
It is a
almost
serious
worked at
question.
Radio Shack. I know.
It's great.
I had a friend that worked at Radio Shack, so he would get me all the deals, so I didn't need to work there.
That's
one.
true.
No, because I could see you saying, "Yeah, I worked for Radio Shack for 10 years. I did this, and I got tired of it, or I was too smart for them, and I did something." And I could see you doing something like that, or some other electronics company, or
Yeah, I actually
Boeing,
got-
or whatever.
I got big into after college. I started another business in college, a professional photography business that I've been running for the past 20 something years.
Oh wow,
My
that
wife
I did
runs it
not
with me
know.
now. Yeah,
That's cool.
So,
Is it like
but
landscape, portrait?
well, initially
Anything?
it was everything. I was doing a lot of sports. I was shooting a lot of marathons.
Weddings.
We mostly shoot weddings now because that's where the money is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Bless you.
Yeah, so
No, you can't pay me to do a wedding.
that's what most of my photography friends would say, and I was like, "Well, you can pay me then. They can pay me."
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be more than happy to let you do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my wife and I still do that, but I wanted to get, I kind of wanted to revisit that idea I had as a teen of doing a ham radio business.
Still the ham radio retail itch.
Yeah,
comes back. It circles around,
circle.
doesn't it?
It's
Just
funny
when
how-
I thought I was out, they brought me
Yeah.
back.
Pull
in.
me
Brought
back
me
in.
back in.
Yeah. And I was going to show you the first Quirky QRP product, and I realized I never even kept one for myself. I stopped
You
stopped
sold them
making
all.
them. I sold all of them. It was the keychain QRP was the very first Quirky QRP product.
Okay.
Little
No
1-inch cubed HF transmitter.
Yep.
Hmm.
Ran on a 9-volt battery.
9-volt battery plugged onto the back of it.
Steve, where's yours at so you can show us?
Steve,
I
you
do
got it in
not
the back.
have one. I do not have one.
Steve, turn around. I see it somewhere over there.
It's on that desk back there behind you.
So yeah, Quirky QRP is really just kind of fulfilling that childhood dream of creating ham radio products with my dad.
That's cool.
And
Very
here I am.
There you go.
But anyways,
So-
you were asking about the how I got to the t-shirts. Which
Yes.
is kind of,
So you have like a whole iteration because the first time I ran across Quirky QRP was for the Slinktena.
Same here.
I think that, and that was probably maybe 4 years ago.
Right.
Something like that.
Yep.
So was that kind of like the next iteration of I
need one.
They look so cool.
I need to order
smart
one.
enough with this to keep one on hand for myself instead of just selling them all off.
And they sell fast.
They do. Yeah. And they take a while to build.
I bet. So explain kind of the rundown bands. I know you have to have a tuner, but kind of
Yep, it
what's
requires a
the
tuner.
rundown of that thing?
It's just a compact, fairly quick deploy dipole. It's got a 9-to-1 inside, so you got to tune it up. But
Sure.
I guess some of the biggest advantages are that it's only 12 feet when deployed, roughly 12.
And you can put it on like the top of a fence, right?
Yep, that's where I was doing some of the initial tests. You probably maybe remember some of those first photos I did
Yep.
those 4 years ago.
And there was
me
like
just
some
having it on the test.
paracord or something that keeps it from stretching too
That's
far
what I
out.
used. I went from
Right.
tree to tree. Yeah, I went from tree to tree, mine, and I went like it's. And I was thinking back in the days when I was in the food industry doing a lot of travel. I'm like, my God, if nothing else for a shortwave or just to listen, but to be able to transmit too, you could be in a hotel room. You could be anywhere with this, especially now with POTA and just with QRP in general. Just QRP in general, guys. What an incredible antenna that you could just play with.
And it's,
So
it's funny how
what's
popular
it rated
became.
at power wise, by the way?
You can do 100 watts single sideband.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's not QRP.
No, it's not.
But for the FTA guys, they shouldn't put what,
FTA,
more than
not
25.
100 watts. Now,
Yeah.
so part of the design
It'll be a droop tenna then.
revolves around. Right. Yeah. And I've operated it that way before. The antenna, when there's not enough room to get 12 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you look on the inside, let's see if I can. It's not sealed off. It's actually open, and that's deliberate. That's for heat dissipation. Not because it needs it, but because I just was like, someone's gonna just put too much power into this thing, and I wanted to kind of have some level of protection, a little bit of buffer.
Right.
So if someone makes a mistake, that's the biggest thing. It's like maybe you weren't trying to do that, but you're like, oh crap, my power's too high on FT8. You could probably get away with some brief moments of higher power, but I don't recommend it.
Turn it down quickly. If you see the SWR start to do this number, probably turn it down.
So don't run a kilowatt through it.
So what I found, James, about 4 years
Not a
ago, and I've
kilowatt.
always followed the shop through SD. You started off with things, and then you started bringing more stuff, more product lines coming in. The gears in your head had to be turning. Probably at 3 a.m. and writing notes on a post-it note and saying tomorrow or later today, I'm going to start working on. I got a feeling I know how your brain works. When you look at your product lines,
Chaos
they're-
and mayhem. I'm just trying to get it out of the head, really.
Right.
You know.
I need more
And they've
space inside of here for
diversified.
new stuff.
It is
So
a
I'm gonna
very
build
diverse.
this.
It's just not that antenna. You have gone into many other, and I'm sure you got stuff in the back of your head that we may see 6 months to a year from now that we don't even know about. And
There's
that's
stuff
what's
back
so
there I don't
cool.
even know about yet.
It hasn't worked its way. The cream hasn't come to the top of the coffee yet, but it will, because when I look at your product lines today, 2023, compared to 4 years ago, what'd you have? Maybe 4, 5, 6 items, maybe.
So it was, for a couple years, it was just the keychain QRP and the Slinktena. And then it's really, like I said before, all the products are born out of necessity,
Right.
Which come from where my interest in ham radio has gone back and forth. I get interested in this or that, and then I see a hole in my kit or the way I operate, and I'm like,
there is a need.
There's a need. I'm gonna fix it.
I need this.
I'm like anyone, I see a hole in my kit, and I'm like, okay, I'm like straight to Amazon and eBay and see what's out there, right? See if something's out there to solve my problem. And when there isn't a solution to my many problems, I'll just make it myself.
Yeah.
And then I figure, well, if I made it for myself, and this is kind of where Quirky QRP kind of came from, is like the cool keychain QRP thing. I had the concept. I think I had the concept first. I didn't have the business idea first. I just made the little thing, and I was like, well, this is cool. I wonder if other people might like this.
So for those that don't know what that is, because I know what it is, explain what that keychain is.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
It's technically under 1 inch cubed. It's like 0.78, I don't know, inches cubed, 1 inch cubed, HF transmitter. It's not a transceiver. It's transmit only, kind of like we talked about with the old radios where you'd have a separate transmitter and receiver. So I would play with it with like a separate shortwave radio as my receiver. And you just hook a 9-volt battery up to it. It's got a built-in straight key. I'll probably make them again. I had so many other ideas I wanted to get to, and only so much time per day that it was like I had to make a decision on what I was going to spend my time building. So it is technically at this point, it's been like 2 years now. It's technically discontinued.
You also had a it was a counterpoise for an HT.
Oh yeah. I
remember that
around here.
Do you remember that? Yeah. So
that's the
yes,
Slinktena.
that's it. The Slinktena. It was escaping me, and I couldn't find it on your website. Sorry. Man.
Here, let me get a little. It's out of stock right now. I'm actually working on a possible minor redesign, mostly cosmetic, but we'll see. If I'm going to do any redesign, I might do a little more than just cosmetic redesign.
Yeah. So explain to the folks, the 96 that are watching. We've held almost 100 this entire time.
And we're talking ham radio too.
People love Quirky.
We're talking ham radio.
We're talking ham radio.
Well, before he gets into that,
yes.
It looks like he made a shirt strictly for Mike.
Which one is that?
KWRD.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yes, I did. That is because of Mike, and I'm actually sending him that one.
Nice.
Okay, good. Because if you weren't, I was going to buy it and send it to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I want to see him wear that on his mailbag. He will.
Mailbag Monday.
He will. He absolutely will.
All right, so this is like a tiger tail on steroids, I presume.
Yeah. Okay, so again, born out of necessity. I was camping, and we were using local repeaters and a digipeater that was kind of out of range. As you know, like APRS, the range is roughly like 50% of voice. Like however far you can talk on voice, you're probably only going to get about half the range on APRS. Right. Roughly. So I'm just out of range, and I was only operating with like the stock ducky that it came with, as you do sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I grabbed the wrong go bag, or just didn't throw it in, didn't have my better antenna in the bag. So I'm kicking myself. It's like I'm trying to make contact with the rest of our group, large camping group of family and friends. And I'm trying to make contact through the repeater, but I'm just not getting the repeater. And I'd used Tiger Tails many times before, all the way back into the 90s. I've been making Tiger Tails. In fact, there was the original guy who called them Tiger Tails, used to sell them in QST. He always had an ad in there, for a Tiger Tail. But the problem with tiger tails is they're just drooping down off your belt the whole time. This wire hanging out. People think you got a bomb under your shirt because there's wires dangling out, or just giving you weird looks. You know, like what's wrong with you? And I also like to have a lanyard on me, but it's like try to combine having a lanyard on your radio and a 19-inch wire hanging down. It's just chaos. So, anyways, I'm up on this hillside trying to make contact. Can't do it. Didn't have my tiger tail on me, and I'm losing my voice here. But I had an old set of headphones.
Hang on, while you
that's
do
what
that,
whiskey's for. I
hold
mean,
on,
that's
hold
what
on,
the beverage
hold
is
on
for.
1 second here. We need to address Frank for a minute. He says Ham Radio Clubhouse is trying to be as good as Coffee and Ham Radio. No, Frank, they have to play catch up to us. I love the boys, but they got to play catch up to us.
We love those guys.
I love them.
I'm not playing favorites here. I'm neutral.
No, absolutely not.
No.
We're all one big family.
We support everybody.
We all hug.
There's no competition
we all hug,
here.
cuss, and kick sometimes, but it's all out of love.
Yeah, exactly.
I love watching both these shows.
That's called family.
They both serve a specific audience.
Yes,
They do.
Yes.
Anyway, keep on going.
So, as most people think, well, you got to connect your counterpoise to the ground on the radio, right? That was my concept. That's what I was taught
That's what
by
they teach
Mr.
you.
Tiger Tail back in the 90s. You know, you got to have the ring terminal connector. Has to connect. But I'm out in the woods. I'm not able to make contact. I figured, what the heck? I'll just try to capacitively couple it. And so I just put my hand over, I had the headphones here, and I just put my hand over the headphones and kind of held it against the radio and let it dangle down. It was almost the right length. And I'll be damned, everything started working better. Like
you made contact.
APRS
you hit
got
the
out.
repeater.
I could hit the repeater all of a sudden.
It's funny
And
how
I'm like,
that works when you
holy
experiment.
And so that was kind of like the ignition for this idea. The idea came later, but that memory came back to me after I had started Quirky QRP, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I could do something with that, because I was having the trouble of having 19-inch wire hanging down, and I like having a lanyard because I really don't enjoy dropping an expensive radio on the ground.
Joe Brett just got one of those, by the way. He's missing
And
this
they're out of
opportunity.
stock right now. They're out of stock right now while I'm doing some back end redesign work.
That's what
So
bookmarks
the
are for.
concept is-
Bookmark
there
this
are mark-
webpage.
This is actually this is one of my early ones prototyped with. It doesn't have the marks on it right now.
we can pretend.
So I just combined the two concepts of a capacitively coupled 19-inch wire with a lanyard, a retractable lanyard. So you don't have something dangling down all the time. You clip it to your belt, and when you bring your radio up to talk, you can just go to those line markings, and those are the different bands. So it's technically multi-banded, right? So you just retract it to wherever the band marking is.
Bro,
So,
James, bro,
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I gotta say this, bro, I love you, but you gotta get a different antenna on that HC. That is bothering me.
okay.
Because it's like
Hold on.
that.
This is my wife's HT. This is my wife's HT.
She has sat.
Oh, she's
no,
got
it's
the
not.
broke
You're a
antenna.
liar. You are a liar. Girlfriends, ladies don't put that stuff in their back pocket and sit on. That's a guy thing.
Sir, your antenna do like that.
No, it was in her purse.
You
And that's why.
get her a signal stick or buy her a new. You're bothering me. Fix that, bro.
Order her a pink signal
Hold on,
stick.
hold on.
Stat.
I love him. James, you're family now. You know it.
Exactly.
You're family now.
I don't want to be the cause of someone's aneurysm. So I'm going to put a better antenna on here.
Oh,
God. Here we go.
We're
There.
successfully
Oh, is that
antenna
better?
shamed.
We got a
You are
Nagoya
family.
771. Is
Now I
that
feel
good
better.
enough?
Hang on,
Okay.
hang on. My Apple Watch, my Apple EKG just went down. I'm good.
I can attach it to an antenna on the roof if that would make you feel even better. We can just keep going with this.
Izzo, do you feel better? He has a non antenna that does this.
My breathing just went down. The EKG just went down. The blood pressure just dropped. We're good. See, and we're family. See, this is why I was able to say it, though, because we're family.
I got a CB Ducky antenna we could put on there too.
No, don't.
That'll
It's
be
not
fun.
resonant.
Yeah, it's resident someplace.
It's resonant someplace. That's right, Steve.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So back
right.
to your
Back to the show.
back to the show.
show.
Chaos.
Back to the show about ham radio.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
These messages from PQRP. So it's multi-banded. So each marking, the first marking as you extend it is like 70 centimeter or GMRS. Then the next marking down would be the 1.25 meter band. And then as you keep going, the third one would be for like maritime weather band and MERS, because it does actually improve reception as well. And there are, I don't have a big following on YouTube, but I have some like example videos for some of my products, and the Slinktena is one of them. I've got several demonstration videos of it in action on YouTube. I'm sure no one can find it because my channel's so obscure. But if you look
not anymore.
If everyone who's watching, there's 95 watching. So if you would type a comment, because I saw you comment under your own channel, or if Steve, if you've got it, drop a link to James's channel.
Is asking about Slinktena, and it is currently out of stock. I got a batch I'm slowly working on over here.
We're gonna push.
They're all hand built, by the way, right?
All of a sudden, YouTube tomorrow morning, the analytic guys are gonna be like, "Whoa,
what is this?" So Mike has a new shirt idea for you.
Uh-oh.
He says, "Bro, do you even capacitive couple?"
And Scout 75 has
and Scout says, "Bro, is your antenna even bent?"
Thank you, Scout.
I might make some of these.
You should, man.
I've got.
Bro, your antenna's like that.
Conversation pieces at field day. See, only the guys at field day and club meetings are going to get it. You walk into the supermarket, they're not going to get it, but that's okay. It's not for them.
That's okay.
It's not for them.
It's to bring to Hamvention. It's to bring to Huntsville.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's when you come back on our show and Nuggets and anyone else who put you on the show. Absolutely.
Does that mean you're going to be at Huntsville next year?
Me? I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope so.
Yeah. So, Ape, yes, I do that for a purpose because it helps the algorithm. Thank you.
I wish I could have come this year. Oh, you guys look like you guys
we
had
learn
so much
from
fun.
They always have fun. I've only been there 1 year. I've had to cancel twice in a row.
Slacker.
So, yeah. The 96 people watching have heard this story before.
We'll be at Pacificon this year, though.
Sorry, Ape. I had to. Couldn't resist.
So
the
other feature of the Slinktena, because I've noticed on a lot of these, and this I'll have to thank all of you YouTubers out there for this concept. The checks in the mail too for the idea. I noticed a lot of people like to enjoy an adult beverage on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
mine's
I thought,
empty,
you know what? Adult beverages and expensive ham radios can be problematic if you don't have a lanyard. So not only will this, by the way, this has a bottle opener so you can open your drink.
Whoa!
Look, Jack and
Smart
Greg.
man.
So it helps you get in trouble, and then it helps you get out of trouble. So
there you go.
It helps you get your bottle open, but then it also,
nice.
When you get all tipsy and drop your ham radio,
or if you end up in the woods like someone who watches the show and you can't find anybody because you wandered off and you passed out in a ditch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
See, if you had one of these, we could probably have rescued you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if you're beaking on APRS, there you go.
You'll be chasing behind Mike, who's always chasing behind Jason.
Don't worry, Mike will find you.
I was going to say, now that we have somebody that brings their own digipeater to the mountain, you're good.
So James, you started off with all these, half a dozen, maybe 8, 10. Then all of a sudden, what gave you the idea for the mat, for the desks, and on the cup, and with all of some great information right at our literally within inches of what we need, instead of having to fumble through it. There you go, Shay. This is a great idea.
Model.
Hey. Yes. Good job, Shane.
Green
Good job. Help the guy sell the product.
Oh, I'll do that. I'll put that on the shirts. I put it on everything else.
Oh, there you go.
This is
I'll just have to put it upside down.
Bro, what band you want?
There we go. Hold on.
Yeah, put it up.
Bro, where's your reference chart?
I'm on the wrong band. I need to be like 10K that way.
So yeah,
I'm out of band on POTA.
The reference chart was really my first venture outside of making like antennas and transmitters and keyers and stuff like that. And again, it came from necessity. On many occasions, I got 2 kids. I run 2 businesses. Sometimes there's not a lot of time to play ham radio. I'm doing a lot of ham radio work, right? And I forget stuff. Like, it's been a while. If I haven't been on the air in a while, and and you know, I get a few moments to hop on the radio.
It's called CRS. It happens after you cross 35.
Yeah.
Can't remember shit.
That was a while ago. 35 was a while ago. And I had the same moment where I was like, I've only have a few minutes to play on the radio before I got to go back to the real life, and I couldn't find the information I needed, and I couldn't remember the band edges that I used to have perfectly memorized. And you know, I always tear out the sheet from QST, and I have those things laying around on occasion. Mm-hmm. But my walls are already covered with crap. So
right.
I've run out of places to put stuff on the walls.
Right. My stuff is all JPEGs that I either keep in the photo or also, and then I throw a copy up in the cloud. But you came up with a great idea for the shack. Also, not only it looks great, but it's not only does it look good, it's functional. Man, that to me, that was a home run. It's also functional too. So
yes, and
I just noticed
I use mine all the time still
that?
Because you know it's right here in front of my radio. It's inches from my radio screen, so it really is convenient for operating and referencing.
You have one that's got lights on it?
That's brand new. I was going to announce that.
Oh
on the show.
my God! Take my money. Take my money.
I can't show you guys because I can't move the camera. I have like this map it's a world map. And has the lines and everything. It's the same size as that, and mine has like this chasing RGB light that goes around it. That's really, really cool. I didn't know you had that.
I did that like late last night. That just happened.
Really?
Yeah, this is brand spanking new. I haven't told anyone yet. I haven't even posted on Twitter. So you heard it here first.
Hey,
James, on the Clubhouse.
Right
James,
here on the Clubhouse, we finally did something. We finally did something right.
Just take my credit card, keep it on file. Cool. I'll just say, just send me one. Hey, I do have an idea. I do like it for the desk. Is there an option for that to hang?
Yeah.
Can that? Oh, look.
So I have some giant wall hangers, both framed. The ones I like the best so far, it's actually a giant acrylic print. So it looks like glass, but it's a plastic and it's freaking huge. You know, I guess I'll go ahead and announce this too. It's not available yet, but I'm going to be adding a metallic wall print.
You heard it first.
Printed on metal.
Yeah.
Ooh,
you heard it first on Clubhouse, guys.
See, you could probably put that underneath your antenna and use it as a ground plane too.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I gotta stop, James.
Sure, why not?
I said this last night on Nuggets show. You know, Nuggets did a great job. They all T.O. and the boys. They always do a great job. I love listening to them on Monday nights. But I gotta tell you something, and I said this very sincerely. I'm gonna say it again. Father's Day.
Oh yeah.
Christmas. Birthdays.
My birthday's in October. If anyone's looking to give me some, yeah.
This is the thing where you send the SD link to people and you say, hey, listen, if something ever comes up and you want to do something nice for me, and when you want to think of me for a Christmas gift or I don't care, whatever it is, there you go, guys. This is something that people can get behind, and and you're not killing the bank either. It's good stuff. It's functional. The guy who or the lady who's going to get this stuff is going to use this stuff.
Oh, this is fairly new also.
I was about to say, I see an ITU and a CQ7 map on there. And I will say, you've lowered the price on these mats.
I did. I did a little
just
magic
noticed
on the back
that.
end and try to cut everyone a little break on the price.
Plus, we got a coupon. Plus, we got the Clubhouse discount, my friend.
Izzo, you read my mind, buddy.
It's so easy sometimes.
What's the coupon code again? Izzo's the man? No, that's not it.
Right. So I'm going to scroll this at the bottom of the screen. It's called,
guys, write this down.
Quirky Clubhouse. You get free shipping on orders over $35 and $5 off any order over $49. So, James, thank you so much for taking care of the folks that watch the show and that are listening to the podcast. We appreciate it. That's anything and everything. I did see a couple of things in here, and Scout75 mentioned it in the chat, but you're doing some clocks now.
Yes.
Yes, and
And
they're
the
running
dials are
clocks.
incredible. The dials have a lot of history on them. That's one of the things. Like today at work, I had some downtime because a friend of mine, and we had him on the show a couple of years ago. His name is Jeff. Jeff rebuilds old radios from the 30s, and as well as everything from solid state, but a lot of tube stuff. And he has educated me on the old dials of the Motorola's and the Zenith and the I, and you're starting to bring that back, and that is so cool, my friend. That is very, very cool. How you
I
bring
hate you, Scout.
I mean, like on metal. Playing cards.
Love
Maybe
you.
I'll put it on playing cards too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
But do you have any of the clocks close by and kind of run? Because there's
I
a
got one sitting
reason.
here.
Okay, that's cool. So that's actually a radio dial, right?
That is, yeah. A
Yes.
graphic from a
Or
radio.
actual radio dials from the old shortwave radios.
Yeah, so you'll see it shows the different bands. There's aviation band, amateur.
Oh wow.
It says
That's
police
cool.
on here somewhere, and then
Yes.
yeah. Anyways, you can see it pretty good on the website actually.
And that
Yep.
you've got that in a white and a dark background. It looks like on the website.
Yeah. So the white is not normal. Like the radios never looked like
Right.
this.
Right.
They were all black. Or they weren't all black, but they were black or variations of dark colors or other colors. I just did this so that you can see it better.
Right.
If someone wanted to see the clock better than just seeing the dial. But that's
Yeah.
the more traditional look. Yeah.
That
And I just added the brand
say
new
that very
one.
sincerely. I say that that is a great idea. And guys like me who have these older radios, and now you see it in other applications.
Mhm.
It kind of like it really warms your heart. It really does. I don't want to start getting out a box of Kleenex here, but it really, really does, because again, this was from the beginnings of radio, of broadcast radio. Started that, and the whole history of shortwave radios and the radios that came into America before TV sets were even in anyone's home, or Palm Pilots, for crying out loud. Look at
Before the
that.
days of
So there you
BlackBerry.
go. So Scout 75 says yes, you need to do playing cards with band plans on the back, cue codes, and random facts.
Yeah. Yes. That'd be
you go.
great.
He's writing
Just
it
do
down.
random quotes from all the different YouTube shows.
Oh,
All the different
Oh, we're in
ridiculous
trouble.
things.
We're
One
in
will just
trouble
say
now.
cantaloupe. Just cantaloupe.
Oh,
never gonna live that
you see
down.
what happens when our guests watch our show?
Cantaloupe hyphen hoo-ha question mark.
I think that might need to be a shirt. Bro, do you even cantaloupe?
Dude, biblical cord?
I think
or
you guys should
unbiblical?
do that for you guys have a merch store, right?
no, not yet.
Yeah, we've been talking. I've been kind of fooling around with different T-shirt designs, as well as something that we initially created. I don't know. I got to get Joe
Well, the
Brett
first
just to
one's got to
spend
be
a day
something
with
about
me.
cantaloupes, I think.
It has to.
It has to.
Oh my goodness.
Cantaloupe
Or
radio.
Mexico or Tin
Or
Cup.
Mexico.
One.
That is
Neither-
right, Mexico. There's a lot. Listen, we could have a full line of T-shirts and apparel.
Yes.
Oh, you should.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
That
It's
is.
gorgeous.
So I just added a new one, and it's not. So this is that's an acrylic print. So it looks like glass, but I just did a new design. I don't know if you can find it on the page, or I can.
Is it the Oceanic or the ship
It's the
radio?
one that has the white hands. It should be near the top of the list.
Hmm.
With
Oh, yeah, I got it.
multicolors.
Yep, I
Yeah.
got it.
So that one I just released last night. And
Oh
that's
wow!
another-
So there's long wave, police, shortwave, and broadcast.
Yep.
That's cool.
yeah, I tried to find and recreate the dials that had the most cool information on them.
Yeah.
Because there's tons of old dials out there. I mean, they were releasing radios back then like more frequently than phones today. Like new radios were coming out all the time back then, and there were so many manufacturers that came and went quickly.
Well,
like they
I'll
went
tell
out
you
of
what
business,
happened.
you know?
I did a little history when I got my radio is from 1939, and when I did a little history, the manufacturers at first weren't sure where this new thing called radio, if it was even going to take off in America's homes. And like the first year, it was a very slow, but once they got behind it, they reduced the prices. So again, guys, $25, this is way before I was even born in '64. We're talking like in the 30s, 20s. All of a sudden they dropped the price, and the goal was to have every radio in every home in America. Doesn't that sound kind of, then, and then that last, and then it went to the TVs and the TV, but that's what they were doing. They dropped it. So
Jason says band plan that dude wipes for POTA activated.
Yes, absolutely. Got to have that. It's a necessity. It's a necessity. Just like a good cigar, it's a necessity.
Yeah, exactly.
But look at that.
I am trying to do something that's maybe an ultralight version of my reference chart. That would be kind of for the soda people.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Something that's I have the clipboard, which is cool, and I know that like CW operators do like to operate from things either bolted to or strapped to a clipboard. But again, if you're trying to go ultralight, then maybe that's something you don't want to haul up a mountain. So that's
in your clocks.
So before we move forward,
I'm sorry, guys. I'll hold my question. Go ahead.
So Paul was our winner of the license plate.
Oh yeah.
The I'm monitoring 146.52. So it looks like FedEx delivered. So there we go.
There you go.
Let me make you full
I should have like put this.
Wrong one. Shane, try again.
I'm trying.
I should have had this as my frame the whole time.
Right.
Like just looking at me through here.
I love that.
So Paul, thankfully it made it to you, and I know you're in Florida, so hopefully you're not hanging around GTFO.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I saw this, and I heard a brief description of it on TO's stream last night. But so kind of explain this actually serves a purpose. The green and the red, right?
Yeah. So
okay.
This clock design was born out of. I didn't design this. This is an old school clock for old radio rooms after the Titanic disaster. So before the Titanic happened, it was just chaos on the airwaves. There was only a couple frequencies.
It was 80 meters.
That people were. Yeah, it was 80 meters. Absolutely. It was just chaos. It's totally 80 meters. Yeah. 80 meters sunk to Titanic is what it really comes down to.
It was the original colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Before they had the camera.
Yeah.
So they came up with this idea of having silence periods.
Mm-hmm.
And so these clocks were, I think, mandatory in any of the official monitoring radio rooms along the coastlines or anywhere else that there was maritime monitoring stations. And of course, they had them on ships as well.
Right.
And the green is for monitoring voice, and the red is for CW.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the green section didn't exist in the very first iteration of this clock. It was just red portions.
Right.
But I always liked this concept because my dad and I use this for our own communications. Like if he's on a Jeep trip or something, the plan is, if you're going to listen on the radio, listen at the top of the hour kind of thing for 5-10 minutes, whatever. And this is just kind of like that, kind of like Wilderness Protocol. So this is much more of a useful clock for a radio room. The other ones are pretty, but this one serves a purpose.
Once again, functional.
Yeah. And this was actually one of the earlier ideas when I was coming up with the clock ideas. I was kind of going back and forth between the shortwave radio dials as more of a nostalgic thing from, as a kid, I loved listening to shortwave. That's where that idea kind of came from, revisiting my youth. And this from a functional standpoint, because I like as many of my products as possible to serve a functional purpose in ham radio. It's always good to have fun stuff. That's great. But I like purpose-built products. Mm-hmm. Even the shirts technically serve a purpose to shame your friends into like monitoring 14652.
Do you even monitor, bro?
That's
see.
Love it.
Yeah. Wear that to the club meeting.
Ham shaming.
And the whole license plate, short of having time in prison to think, and making license plates every day, is pumping out more license plates. And I was thinking I could do something positive for ham radio while I'm in here. So
out came the frame.
So that, and then from there was just a descent into madness with the t-shirts.
Right.
But I do want to promote, people monitoring 14652. I think it's really important. And,
I agree.
With hurricane coming in, it's critical.
It's interesting that you say that, because I went up to Oklahoma for the Balloon Fest, and anytime I go on a long trip like that, I carry my radio, I listen to 5.2, and it was dead quiet up for the longest time. And I would every like 20 or 30 miles, I'd throw out my call sign just to, I'd probably reaching somebody a little bit further. I had one person come back to me that was
that was lucky. I usually get
10 miles in front of me. And then I started going around and listening to the repeaters in the area, just listening to the receive side of the repeaters. Nothing. Like I checked into a couple of the repeaters, nothing. Switched over to GMRS. It is on fire. It's like, come on, guys.
Wow.
Like, you have all these ham radio operators and all these giant, 70 centimeter, 2 meter. You have these big repeaters. No one's using them. And then GMRS comes along and they're like, hey, buddy, how you doing, man? WRQC 420. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Yeah, all I ever hear is, maybe on the weekends I'll hear someone on Diablo Mountain over here, doing a soda. Mm-hmm. And that's about it. That's the only activity I ever hear on 5.2. And I monitor every time I drive. I monitor in the shack all the time. And it's just dead constantly. I even, on APRS, I have my my Kenwood 710, set up to beacon whatever frequency I'm on. So whatever band A is on, it beacons that I'm on that frequency on APRS, and I still don't get anyone trying to call me.
So I just found something. Sorry, I'm having a squirrel moment here.
Go ahead. What'd you find?
Do you have Apple Watch bands that have sideband QRP?
Speak of the devil.
Frequencies.
Uh-huh.
What the heck?
Yep.
Shane's maxed out his credit card tonight.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna be broke by the end of this stream.
I gotta get a second job. I'm gonna tell my kids they can't go to college because Dad's buying all this stuff.
But don't worry,
Calling
your kids won't go to college, but my kids will.
That is so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's handy.
Literally.
I'm considering there's not a lot of space on an Apple Watch band for starters.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping I'm going to play with my design a little bit and see if I can make it a little bigger text. It's totally readable if you don't wear glasses.
You have
so this is what I want you to do.
calling frequencies, sideband, and CW.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to create, like in the movies, is it a holographic? I want to be able to take my Apple Watch with your data and put it up against or anything, and it's just going to like come out of my watch and shoot over here somewhere or whatever. That's what I want you to create. I want that done by Labor Day's Monday. I'll give you until Tuesday.
Yeah,
so get that done for us.
For now, we can do it a little easier.
For now, we have the coffee mug.
The beer stein.
That's a beer stein.
That's a beer stein. Oh,
that is glorious.
Remember back in school when you'd have the projection sheets of paper, the clear paper? You have my chart on that, and then you shine a flashlight through it, and you aim it at the wall. There you go. You don't need to come out of your Apple Watch.
Absolutely right.
If anyone wants to buy me anything for my birthday or for Christmas, you can order me this stein from James. I mean, I wouldn't condone operating radio and beer at the same time, but
have you been to Huntsville, bro?
That stein exists purely because of all the ham YouTubers who drink on their shows.
No, they don't drink.
The idea came from that. I was like, hey, I guess.
Thank you, Shaq
like
and Greg.
Drink. I might as well make a beer stein.
Yeah. The longer I stay on your page here, the more my credit card is screaming.
Don't stay on there too long; it's trouble. Yeah, it's definitely trouble.
But at least we have free shipping and stuff to the clubhouse. So
that's
we
right.
There's more trouble coming. That's
Quirky
for sure.
Clubhouse.
We hope so. Yes. We hope so. Yeah. Wait.
So you were asking about the genesis of the shirts, and it came from this. the first idea was the bro, do you even monitor 14652? And then it was just a cascade of, after that, I was like, I could put anything on there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it's a free country and I can do almost anything I want.
Right?
So yeah, here's, I think this is actually Mike's I've got sitting here. I haven't shipped it out yet.
Let me shrink this. And
There's Mike's shirt.
Let me put you here.
Yep.
I
And
figured
then
I'd wear it a
we-
few times before I send it to him.
Might as well.
Yeah.
He likes
There you
sweat
go.
stains.
Yeah.
Break
It has
in
to be
for him.
soft for him too. He wants it soft.
So yeah, I've got of course this is just the classic bro, do you even ham radio? And then it gets weirder from there. There's the QRP, bro, do you even, let's see.
Bro, you don't like barbecue potato
Bro, do you even fang? I think I was coming up with those ideas a little late at night and like, you
After-
you get
after a
tired and
couple
you
of
start
drinks.
having weird thoughts. Yeah.
The wife's like, let's go to bed.
Start hearing things.
No, I've got one more design I need
I
to
got
put
one
in here.
more.
Oh, and I
Bro,
also
do you
did this
even
on the-
POTA?
Yes, I was about to say it's tagless, and you've got that printed on the inside. That's really cool.
This
Hey,
is
bro,
for
do
all
you
those
even 5'9"?
contesters out there that just say 5'9", no matter how weak the signal is.
Again.
And then they tell you got a 5'9", and then they ask you to give your call sign 6 more times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
We
and
need a bro, do you even POTA? And bro, please copy.
I thought
Mike
about
says,
that.
do you even eat barbecue chips, bro? Jody
isn't POTA a
says, do you even
isn't
dip
POTA a
your
registered trademark?
your ketchup
Nope.
chips?
Is POTA a registered trademark?
Nope.
Our chat.
I don't think
Mark the
so.
acronym.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to step on any toes, but maybe I will do that.
Do you even
I
kerchunk?
love that. Do you even? I love
This
that.
this one's going to Josh. That's the one Josh requested.
Nice. Nice. I have a surprise for you guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's all
Well,
I got.
the
for-
last-
We're about
Wait,
an hour and a
hold
half
on.
in. So
If anyone has been following us for the last 2.5 years, when Shane says that, this just get ready to
coming.
put on your seatbelts.
Yep.
What's he doing? He's climbing in the back. He's going to go to the back of the airplane.
And he's gone.
He's
No.
gone. He's
Okay,
off the
who's in
tarmac.
charge now? Izzo, you're in charge.
Oh, don't give me the wheel.
I'm last on the list here, baby.
So James, hang on. Go ahead, Shane. I was going to say something, but go ahead. I'll wait.
okay.
What you got, Shane?
Man, I wish we had Daniel here. All right,
We had
so
work stuff.
okay,
The
so
cows got loose.
a friend of mine just got back from Canada, and he brought me some stuff.
Uh-oh.
So he brought me. I have ketchup ridges. I have. Hold on. I have.
What the heck are ketchup ridges?
Oh.
I
Potato
have. I have salt and vinegar, Old Dutch. Jody's probably going to be in the chat going, "Oh my god!"
Old Dutch sounds like a very old man who hasn't showered and shaved in a while.
So I have hickory sticks. I have eat more.
Mm.
I have
I saw that. No, wait. I can't say something.
Is there a
The
smaller version
arrow.
of that one called less?
I have the arrow.
I
I
almost
have-
said something bad.
I have Mr. Big.
I almost said something bad again.
So and I have
Oh
Have
my
some-
god,
I have some coffee crisps.
where's my duct
So
tape?
what my friend did is he knew that I had this show that I did. And he was like, look at this, Bounty. So he gave me this bag full of all Canadian snacks. And I thought what we would do is each week I'm going to pick one snack and I'm going to try them live on stream.
Oh, see, Molson had to leave. Molson had a
I
cow
know, right?
loose.
Should I
The
wait
cows
until
got
Molson
loose.
comes back?
Yeah, because the cows got loose. By the time
we have
he
the-
gets in, and
We have the
it's probably gonna be
crunchy.
late. He's trying to hurt.
I mean,
cows
I
right
got
now.
the hookup here.
You did. man.
I have Smarties, which we have these here.
Yep.
Smarties.
Yeah, that's almost like winning.
made with maple
almost as
leaf
good as
syrup.
you know
Right.
Lotto.
Maple syrup.
okay, so I totally read this as Maynard's, but it's Maynard's. Maynard's Fuzzy Peach.
Menards.
Oh my god! I almost said something. I almost said another bad word. Wait! Hold up the box for a minute. Hold up that box for a minute.
If it
I've
doesn't
seen
disappear.
that because I've seen that picture, the emblem, that peach. I think I've seen that somewhere, but it means something different.
It does.
Izzo, that's going to be one of your shirts when you guys get your merch going.
Yeah.
It's going to be something about
No,
Menards.
It's not, my damn Menards. So and I have some caramilk.
Caramel. Oh my
Yeah.
god!
I have 2 different versions of caramilk.
Oh, there's 2 different versions too.
There is.
So is that caramel or is it like caribou milk?
I have a Wonder Bar. I almost read that as Wonder Bra,
Well,
but it's
that's what I would have said.
Wonder Bra.
Wonderful.
Probably
Yeah.
about the same.
And I have a big Turk.
A big turd
A big Turk.
A big turd.
A big Turk.
with a D or a K?
K is in kilo
Oh, okay.
or kilowatt.
Go to
There's
that
another
band.
shirt for
Go
you,
to
Izzo.
go to that. See if you had the thing with the phonetic alphabet on your desk right now. You know the appropriate, word for K.
So according to James,
Uh-oh.
the phonetics are going to be kilo, kilowatt, or Kentucky.
Dan, you are absolutely
there.
correct, Dan.
Yep.
Dan is correct.
Yep.
Hell of a time on YouTube.
So this is the Kentucky. But anyway, so
That third
I have
column
like
that
I have
made up.
so many weeks of stuff that we could try. But I wanted to show that. I don't want to try them until I get Molson on the screen because I think it would be it would be a disservice to our Canadian buddy.
Try to eat them all in under like 2 minutes.
No, I'd
yeah,
throw up.
and you
I
can't
would
throw up.
vomit.
No, you cannot throw up. That's
The hickory stick sounds really good. These are like shoestring potato chips.
Mhm.
They sound really good. I hate salt and vinegar with a passion. So I'm going to make some kind of awkward faces for this.
give them to your neighbor.
No, I want to try them on stream. And the ridges, these are extra ketchup, not just
extra
ketchup.
ketchup. See,
They're extra ketchup.
I had just a ketchup flavor. You get the extra ketchup. You're so lucky. You're so lucky, bro. You're lucky.
That's because they like me.
Hey, listen. I think it's time for us to segue into something. You ready?
Okay.
Yep.
All right, James. Your family now.
It's rapid fire. Wait, hold on. Before we do
okay.
that,
Yeah.
I got to make a motion
Go ahead.
that we accept James KH2SR into the Ham Radio Clubhouse as an
Second it.
official member.
Second.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to make a note. All in favor?
Aye.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think he should join us as a member of the Clubhouse.
Come on, guys.
And
Wake up in the
I
chat there.
honestly have to
I
write
think
this
I have
down
to- I
because
have to abstain from voting this time around, right?
yes.
Yes, you cannot
Yeah.
vote for yourself. You cannot say no. That's
So
right.
beer,
you cannot
beer
say
snack
no.
when you're watching this on replay, we have a unanimous consent to add you to the roles of the Ham Radio Clubhouse. So there we
one
go.
in the chat. Hey,
Cool.
Plasma.
Look at
you
the
only,
chat.
Plasma. You only have to do it once, my friend.
I was gonna say, I think Plasma's gonna get
Yep.
slow rolled here.
It's like I'll show you,
Holy
son.
Now, come on.
Scouts.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So thank you. But yeah, welcome to the Clubhouse, James.
Welcome to the clubhouse.
It's been way too
Thank you.
long. You've been a great supporter of the show. We appreciate that.
A
And
great
Paul
ambassador of ham radio.
Paul appreciates that the giveaway. So and James is going to toss in a few things every now and then. I've got a bunch of stickers. I think I'm all the stuff that you sent over to me. I'm going to give those stickers away for sticker packs. That when we give those out, they're going to all go out to
And I'm gonna
folks.
tell you
So-
guys, and I'm gonna make a prediction here, okay? Ooh, I'm gonna make a prediction, okay? Seance here, seance. I think as we move forward in the clubhouse, seance, whatever you call it, whatever we start giving out to, when we start giving back to our, through some of our programs, I think we should start including something from Quirky QRP, Shane
Mhm.
and Steve, something
and don't worry,
whatever.
James. We do buy stuff. We don't ask for
Yeah,
giveaways.
You do. No, you
I'm
don't.
all about helping out shows that want to, try to get people more excited by doing giveaways. So I'm down for doing giveaways anytime,
No,
guys.
everything,
you don't have
as
to
you
buy
know, everything here minus our expenses goes right back somehow, some way to everybody with HF stations, VHF, You ask the people what they have gotten from us in the past, and it's so that's what we believe in. So
Sorry, Steve, I needed to sit down.
No, you're good.
adjust
No.
your desk, adjust that brand new desk. That's right. So very good, Jason.
I'm going to order some of those Ham Radio Clubhouse condoms. It's gonna have our logo on it.
I have
Don't know
to
where
admit,
we're
I
gonna give them
started looking
away,
into
but I'm
that
going
too.
to.
Extra large, extra large for me, please.
What kind of reference material could I put on a condom wrapper? Like, what's most important? Like, which I can only do one band, probably.
No, hang on, no.
You could do a 70-centimeter band.
Yeah, no. You don't want nothing quirky on there. Quirky because the girl's gonna think it's gonna happen so fast. You don't want to give her that impression. No. The long band, or I don't know. We'll come up.
Just put not 80 meters on it.
Yeah.
160 top band.
Yeah, you don't want to put nothing with 70
No,
meters
yeah.
on it. No.
2,220 meter band.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, my friend, get ready, James. Your family now. Strap him into the chair. Put the seatbelt on him. Dim the lights. We got questions for you now.
It's the hot round, right?
It's the Izzo shakedown.
Oh,
Okay. All
you're
right.
screwed.
I think
All
I
right.
gotta go.
No, you're not going anywhere. You ready?
All right,
Steak, chicken, or fish?
steak.
And how do you
Is
like
that a
it?
question?
Yes.
Yes.
How do you like it?
Medium well.
Favorite ice cream?
Double chocolate fudge brownie.
How do you like it? In a bowl, waffle
Cold.
cone, sugar cone? A bowl. What kind
Waffle
of toppings
cone.
do you? What kind of toppings do you put on it?
No topics.
Okay. Favorite snack?
Oh, jeez.
Gummy
Raw
bears.
ramen.
That's
You like-
crunchy.
Yeah. Do you like barbecue potato chips?
I do. I do.
Well, you know,
reason.
you know what
Most
that,
Not
Americans
any
do.
barbecue potato chips.
you know what that question's like? It's like, can you curl your tongue? You can either do it or you don't. So you either like barbecue. Can you curl your tongue?
I can, but I'm not going to do
Not
it. on
on
live
stream.
Okay, all right. We're gonna add
Not
that
that-
question.
Not
Effective
that kind
immediately.
of stream. Not that kind of stream.
No, but effective immediately. That's gonna go to question on. I gotta remember that.
I don't do that anymore. I don't do that. I don't do that for cameras anymore. I retired.
See, that's how it usually works. Then you become a director. I know. Okay,
But
Yeah,
that's only on
exactly.
the Only Hams page.
exactly.
Yes.
And finally, what's your favorite band?
Favorite band?
Mhm.
20 meter band.
We're gonna ask it again. What's your favorite band?
Have to go with a classic, Lit.
Hey,
Wow.
there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
I just saw a yellow card the other day.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Along the same era. Those,
Mhm.
I knew what you meant when you asked the question. I was just being a-
I did this for you, James, just so you could see it. So
Oh no!
You know, some people. You know, when they were. Wait, hang on. Back in the day, when guys were inventing
or in gold. If you
applications. Wait, hang on.
Golden.
Back in the day, when guys were creating applications for their Palm Pilot, and then we moved over to smartphones and apps, and now and this is what it has come to, that I can create my condom within seconds
That's pretty
and have it
typical for
delivered
this
by
show,
the
right?
end of the
It's just
week.
Yep.
a descent into madness and chaos.
Yes.
But that's why
Well,
we watch.
You know something? If the rest of the world would just calm down and have a good laugh and watch us on Tuesday nights, maybe the world would just probably just be a better
Exactly.
place.
I agree. The
You know,
world needs to
you know-
CTFO.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
and a little bit of Cialis, and and everyone's good, and have a drink, and everyone's good, and have some barbecue potato chips if you want. We're all good. We
Or
could all
ketchup.
sing-
Potato
We
chips.
could all sing "Kumbaya." It'll be okay.
I had something I was going to share, so y'all stall because I'm having to create this
Oh,
on the
no.
fly.
But
Uh-oh.
do you
He's
really want
reading.
it to say Quirky QRP or Quirky QRO?
Yeah, QRO.
QRP. You mean the
Ah.
condom?
Yeah.
Yeah, but wait a minute. I'm gonna be. I'll get myself.
Or maybe QRP and then like a slash through the P and then an O. Like you corrected it.
But it has to show big might. It has to show
So
Not
you have
everyone
to have
has to
picture
run
of
an
a boat anchor
amplifier,
on there. You
Izzo.
gotta have a
You
picture of
gotta
a boat
show
anchor on there.
gusto.
Yeah. On a brie.
Debris.
Oh, I have one of those
Yeah.
shirts. I have a bro. Do you even a brie?
Yep.
See,
There you go.
I think that just makes so much sense.
You know, I hope Shaq and Greg is at least getting a penny for everyone.
I was
that-
about to say,
because
we have
he
to
is the
thank
creator.
Shaq and Greg for this idea. It was
It
not
is.
our
Shaq and
idea.
Greg, he holds the copyright on everything.
Yep.
This stuff. So
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I won't be handing those out at Hamfest. As much as I would like
That's
to.
okay. We'll take care of it for you.
I know.
I'm gonna order some in Clubhouse and Quirky QRP.
and guess what, guys?
They're gonna
Steve
be in
is-
a grab bag, so reach
you know,
in and grab the one you want.
Steve has been accused of being the quiet one. That's the one you got to watch out. Steve's going to hand them out everywhere.
Exactly.
Always watch out for the quiet ones. Let's just
Oh, absolutely. Dan, W4DAN, thank you for becoming a YouTube member, and thank you for all of you guys in Green who are supporting the channel. We really appreciate you guys. We got some good giveaway. I can't talk. We got some giveaways coming up really quick because
Shane,
of
have
all
another
of the
drink.
support. It's not that. It's I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. This is not your
Well,
first show.
it's only 2 years worth, but
know.
I was gonna say, is there another Mexico trip coming up? Was that what you're
no,
telling
there's
us?
not. No, I think I'm gonna go to the Pacific Northwest.
There you go.
There you go.
I have like this. I have like probably 40 or 50 places pinned on Google Maps of places that I want to hike to. So
Hey, listen, our brothers WE4DX is going to be doing some stuff over there on the West Coast. I think next year, I believe I saw. So
Great Man says WD4DAN is POTA royalty. All right.
I loved watching him. Last night on Kyle's show. So
Was he on Kyle's show?
him and James and Kyle did something very
Oh,
different.
nice.
Hey, they were having a
I
discussion.
saw that. That was the
I really
the
liked
bad
Kyle's- I was
activator
hoping-
traits or something
I
like
was
that.
hoping Kyle was going to be on tonight because I got to send him a private message. I really enjoyed what he did through PowerPoint of doing. It was something different and it was very good. So
I'll have
Every
to
time
play that.
I was watching that show while I was working, and every time he said James, I was like, huh?
Huh?
I kept thinking he was talking
So
about
there's-
me.
So funny story. Someone who always volunteers to help us with the balloons is also named Shane. So we call ourselves Shane Squared, and it never fails. Every time someone yells, "Hey Shane, will you do that?" I'm like, "Huh?" No, they're talking to the other guy.
I'm over here, bro.
It's terrible, right? I was already doing that. Thanks, buddy.
It's done, bro.
But Dan, thanks for the support, buddy. We
balloon,
appreciate it. Do you even balloon, bro? See, I need to create that shirt.
I'll do a funny bro condom series.
Do you even
Do you even
wrap it
balloon
up,
bro?
bro?
I'll just the balloon bro right on that. Do you even animal balloon bro?
It's a good thing I'm not smoking a cigar tonight. That thing will be on the floor.
Oh
my
man.
All right, let's clean up this thing for a minute. Let's clean it up. Seriously, let's clean it up. We got less than 10
Sorry,
minutes or
James.
10 minutes or whatever. What's everyone doing for is anyone doing anything for this upcoming long weekend? You know, the big federal holiday.
All right, so I'm gonna drag everybody around here. So sorry for those of you who get
Yeah, you
caught
got
up
me a
in all
little
that,
discombobulated. You got me a-
discombobulation
I was
there.
like, ugh,
Yeah.
ugh.
So yeah, we're almost. We have 10 minutes left of the show tonight. So Izzo, I follow you there. We should start wrapping it up. We'll end with James, and I can start it off. I'm going to be in Kyle, Texas. If you're in and around the Kyle, Texas area, come join us. We've got great weather predicted for Friday night and Saturday night for the Pie in the Sky Hot Air Balloon Festival. Would love to meet you guys. Come out. I do monitor 5.2, so I will have my ham radio with me while I'm out there. And I have 3 test meters that were sent to me that I have to test and review. So there's going to be some videos coming out. It's going to take some time to get them out there because I do have a completely different work schedule. So I've got those videos coming out, so make sure you're subscribed to myself. Make sure you're subscribed to Izzo, because Izzo will eventually start making some videos again.
No, not
I'm not gonna bust your chops.
No,
I'm just
not yet.
saying.
Not yet.
But go ahead and subscribe, because they will be coming at some point.
No, they're not gonna come.
At some point you
Animal
will.
videos, right?
I don't
Some
know.
point.
I don't know if I
Okay.
want to listen. We took down the videos. They are saved for memorial reasons, but I'm not ready. If
I like
wanna,
watching Izzo work POTA. I do.
I know.
You have an
I've thought
audience here.
I have honestly, Shane. I have really thought about doing some stuff, even personally, like with the kids. Even if it's a short, even if it's something 3 minutes. But then I think about the whole editing thing. That I'm going to take
Send
a
it
3
to
or
me and I will edit it for you.
No, we're not going to go there. No. I'm a
'Cause I'm
big
good
boy.
at it.
I'm a big boy now. You know how that
I'm
commercial
a
goes.
big kid now.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to help me put on. You don't need to clean up the diaper. That's not fair. You know, I change diapers. I know
don't
what
have to
it's
clean
like.
up the depends. Sorry.
That's very nice.
That's a picture. That's a mental image.
What? Yeah. Sorry. Broke the internet with that one. But anyway, other than that, make sure you. I cannot talk tonight.
That's right.
Make sure that you save W1FYG in Ham Alert, because he will be out on POTA. He'll be out.
This
Make
weekend.
contact with him this weekend. Okay,
This
there
weekend.
you go.
So the plan, and I was feeling this today on Tuesday. I'm like, why couldn't today just be Thursday or Friday? Because I'm itching to get out. I am not going to say right now, because I don't want Murphy's Law to. I don't know if I'm going to be in Connecticut or I might just be in another state.
Whoa. Say
But
it
I
ain't
have
so.
I have an idea, at least for Saturday. It may roll into Sunday. I do have to work on Monday, just based on my schedule. And guess what? When they want to pay you triple time, you know what you say.
You say yes.
Yes, because I got to pay the bill, my credit card bill, on the Quirky QRP stuff that I just bought. No, in all seriousness, but I'm thinking about doing something, even if I'm not in a POTA park. I'm going to be outside for radio opportunities, and that's half the fun of it too. You always don't have to be in a POTA park to go play POTA, because you can still be a hunter out there in the field. It's but I'm going to get out there. I have the antennas. I went through some stuff the other night. Yes, someday that let me. Carlos, let me tell you something. There is going to come a time in my life when I'm going to be knocking on some doors. I promise not to do it at 2:00 in the morning. But I'm going to be like, bro, smoke a cigar with me. Or bro, what are you doing? Or let's go. But no, this weekend, I got some things planned. And it's going to be fun one way or another. You know, on the air, off the air, it's going to be a fun weekend. The weather here in the Northeast is going to be nice. I will say to all of our friends in Florida and the surrounding states being affected by the hurricane, please be safe. Heed your local emergency management warnings. Please don't mess with Mother Nature. There are no weather warriors here. Please, it's again, you're talking to a retired emergency management guy, a guy who's still active in the fire department here locally. You know, there's nothing worse than during the storm or post-storm of helping people. We will do it, but we don't want to do it because we wish that you would just take your own appropriate precautions, and that varies upon everybody. And I've been there personally with storm cleanups. I know what it's like to have my house, with trees going through it. Been there, done that. The mud, the rain, the water, without power for a week or so. If sometimes actually one storm, I think it was close to 13 or 14 days. I know what it's like. So I will tell you, again, if you have the opportunity, please really take this stuff seriously. Don't mess with Mother Nature. And we want to see you next week. We want to hear you next week. And if you can't make it, we understand the lack of power, but you will get back on the air. You will bounce back. But please, it's Mother Nature. These storms are going to change. We know what has been the reports that have come out the 11 a.m., the 5 p.m. We know they're going to get. Thank God for good technology that we have today. Because I think back of when I started this stuff back in 1988, 1989. It's just amazing of what we have now. But please heed your local emergency management warnings and take cover. Do what you got to do, and be safe. I said it very sincerely.
Scout 75, I can't talk. I swear to God.
Who is he? What's his name?
Ron White said it best. It's not that the wind is blowing. It's what the wind is blowing. Keep your head down, the Florida friends. And see, even Scout had some whiskey typing there. That's fiery and
yeah, some of that Wisconsin moonshine.
Yeah. But anyway, pause the video if you wanted to see the frequencies for the net. I posted those in there for those of you who are watching, those of you who are listening on the podcast. The net is 14.325 and 7.268 for the Hurricane Watch net. Steve-O.
Yo, I'm just trying to keep my head down right now. Hopefully I can get some editing done while the storm's coming through. I do have battery backup. I may have to go down to one monitor, but we'll make it work. I don't need internet for that, so sit here at the house under the glow of the monitor and edit the video.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, be here next Tuesday if the house is still standing. Good Lord willing.
Well, hopefully you'll get a tropical storm and not a hurricane.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map now. It's saying tropical storm. Need to zero in on my location.
The spaghetti noodles.
Steve, over there, what's your biggest threat? Is it rising water? Because you're not a storm surge community, right? But you're just the traditional rains could potentially be your issue, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do have flooding because we do have tidal waters here. But yeah, it's looking at the predicted map and where it's going to be 2 a.m. Thursday. I think it's going to be knocking on my door.
Because I'll tell you this. I'll tell you a quick story. So 2 weeks ago, we had a storm roll in here on a Friday morning that dumped 2.5 inches of rain in like 90 minutes. And out of that 2.5 inches of rain, I think we got close to 2 inches here in the basement. This area that I was in was water was coming in. And,
oh, wow.
And my kids were awesome. I went to work and I didn't even know we had water in the basement. And then I got the text around noontime, and Rugrat number 2 says to me, "Hey Dad, I'm using the wet dry vac, and don't worry." And I was cool with it. And my
radio
kids
is not wet.
My kids put their heads together. They seen what their mother and I have done in the past, and they did it. And when I got home that evening, I was so proud of them. I'm like, all this emergency management training has paid off.
You actually listened to me.
Remember that certificate I gave you guys when you were 10 years old for being, EM junior volunteers? I know. I'm a geek. No, seriously.
And I just saw Tom's post.
We talked to strangers.
W4ID, who's a good buddy of mine. He said, looks like Charleston's going to be on the bad side of the rotation because it's going to be a little more inland than originally.
Are you on the northeast side where the tornadoes are?
Now it looks like we're going to be on the southeast side.
Southeast side, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, fingers crossed, buddy, that it shifts and goes. It shakes itself away from you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
We'll make it work.
Right. Mm-hmm. So before we go to James mentioned that during his segue into ham radio, that he had in his high school moments he lost track of ham radio, and I just wanted to share this because I too, during my teen years, lost track of ham radio, and I couldn't care less of what kind of CB I had, but I did care about this Pyramid 718 equalizer in my truck.
Are you serious?
Everyone had a Pioneer tape deck and a Pyramid EQ underneath it. Anyway.
Yep. Or the Alpine tape deck that the whole thing slid up.
The Alpine, that's what I was going to say. I had the Alpine. Oh my God.
I just wanted to share that. So
I got all my stuff from Crazy Eddie. You guys don't know about Crazy Eddie.
Oh,
you know about Crazy Eddie?
Anyway, all right, James, we'll let you close out the show tonight. Thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate it. Let us know if you got something coming up, anything you want to share. Let us know, and then we'll wrap it up after you're done, my friend.
Yeah, I guess first I'd like to say thank you for having me on the show. Had a great time. I'd love to come back someday again.
You're welcome anytime.
About the hurricane situation, man, people conserve your batteries. Don't use your power until you need to. You know, especially on those ham radios. Like, I know you want to monitor everybody and everything, but like when the shit's hitting the fan, there's probably not much you can do for anyone else at that point. Conserve your batteries. If you're not getting totally hammered, I growing up in Guam, typhoons, 200-mile-an-hour winds, you know, all the time. I've been there, and yeah, if you're not getting hammered, then please monitor for those that are getting hammered, in case, you know, some traffic needs to be relayed. So, you know, if your house didn't get devastated, you know, monitor for those that did. And for those that are getting hammered, conserve your batteries until you need to use it. That's what I have to say about that.
There it is.
Oh boy, look at that.
The Pioneer, yeah.
Sorry, man.
That was a high dollar EQ.
That was expensive. Oh my god.
It's on eBay. What do they want for it?
Yeah. It's probably more expensive now than what it was back then.
Yeah.
Too late. I just bought it. No.
$400
Oh,
for $399.
I'll pass.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I think I might string up the in-fed tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Take down the off-center fed and put just the in-fed, so I only have one wire to worry
if
about.
nothing else, lay it on the ground, which is what I would do. I would drop my antennas on the ground, and guys, listen. I'm going to say it.
Antenna.
I'm going to say it because sometimes you hear these stories. Be very, very careful after the storm. I don't care whether you get just a little bit or a lot. You don't know if power lines are down and tree limbs are swinging. You've heard the term the widowmakers. Guys, please be very, very careful after storm. If you're going to go outside, look around. You know how we say listen on the radio? Listen, look. And look many times from different angles before you start venturing outside, and be very careful if you are over the eye. You have a very, very limited amount of time to see the sunshine, and while you're under the eye, because all of a sudden conditions are going to change dramatically fast, and the winds are going to come from the opposite direction. So just be careful observing Mother Nature and your property, please, guys. So, anyway.
So as for stuff coming up for me, like this weekend, it's just work, and maybe I'll do some kind of extra special discount for the weekend. Maybe we'll see.
Nice. Well, thank you for the coupon code for the Clubhouse folks here who are watching on the stream. We scrolled that forever and a day. Quirky Clubhouse.
It doesn't
use
expire.
that at checkout. It does not expire for those of you who are channel members. I'm going to segue into that. Evan. Thank you for the $15 super chat. Scott, thanks for the 3 months. Jenny L, thanks for the $10 super chat. Grayman Poda, welcome. Thank you for being a new member. Ed, thank you for being a member for 8 months. Phil, thank you for the 2 months. And honestly, Phil, I know you've been a member for longer than that, but thank you so much for that. And Dan, also a member to the Cigar Lounge, which happens to be the highest that you can go in the Cigar Lounge. So Dan, thank you so much for that. We're going to roll out some things a little bit different for those that decide to go Cigar Lounge and higher levels. We're still working on that. All of us have full-time jobs, so it's still a work in progress. We've got some giveaways that are going to be coming up probably in the next month or so. I think the purse has been replenished enough that after we gave away the 2 big radios, that we can give away some more stuff. So we definitely want to set you guys up for that. So make sure that you're a subscriber to the channel. You do not have to be a member of the channel to win. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, if you would like to be a channel member, by all means, it's 99 cents if you want to do that. We're good also on Buy Me a Coffee, Buy Me a Beer if you want to send folks that way. Anyway, if nothing else, just watch an ad whenever you see our live stream pop up, and that's absolutely plenty enough for us. So, and I just got a notification, so I apologize. Plasma Storm. Not only has Plasma Storm been a YouTube channel supporter for eons, but he just upgraded to the Cigar Lounge.
Nice.
So
Thank
Plasma
you.
Storm, thank you so much for
Thank you, brother.
joining the
Thank you.
for joining that group. We appreciate it. Anybody got anything else?
I'm
Hit
doing
that
the
button.
virtual ham fest.
Do you have post that in
I'm-
here and in Discord. We want to make sure we have some support.
And
Uh,
I'll be at
Saturday?
Pacificon.
Okay.
I'll be at Pacificon in October.
Ham
are
alert.
you-
Put me in your
yeah.
ham alert.
Put Izzo in your ham alert. James, if you'll put that in our Discord, in the general chat, wherever you're going to be, or you feel free to support whatever you like. If you're not a member of our Discord, there's links down below if you'd like to join the Discord. It's a great community. It's basically our virtual ham club. So we would like to help you out if you have questions or anything like that for us. We'd be more than happy to help you out. So, anybody got anything else before I say au revoir?
73.
Adios.
Antelope.
Steve, we got any testing coming up?
I don't have anything scheduled right now other than my in-person sessions, but if you need a session, I do have session numbers available. Hit me up. We'll get it
All
done.
right. We'll get you taken care of. All right, Awkward Wave, everybody. 73, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you next Tuesday.
See ya.
Ham Radio Clubhouse condoms. Great way to start a conversation and say hello.